What up, people? What is happening? What's going on? What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. Sorry, I missed yesterday. I was super tired after work and everything. I played a little bit of Overwatch with the girlfriend, and that is about it. Went to bed kind of early for me anyway. So I apologize for it. That's the best. Add location. We'll do Bucks County Online consignment, and I gotta fix that. I gotta get some. I have some stuff up on there, but I gotta get some more stuff up on there. I'll keep it simple. Tag that. Tag do. I am making my post for the socials. I think that's all I need to tag. Keep it short and sweet. I'll look at that later. I don't know why it's not. Facebook hasn't been showing me the stuff Facebook needs to show me. You know what I mean? Like on Facebook, it looks like I'm not even streaming. So I don't know. Something I'm gonna have to look into one of these days when I feel like I have a little bit more time. So let's finish this Instagram post. Happy freaking Fat Man Friday. Or what do they call it? Oh no, I'm knocking stuff over. Called it. I think Fatboy Friday. I think Fatboy Friday. Yeah, Fatboy Friday. Gotta keep it consistent. Cause since consistency is the key. Do congrats. Congrats on making it through another week. And welcome to the weekend. Add it to the to the hashtag. I guess I could do add a Funko Pop instead. I don't know, there's so many Funko Pops. I don't know. I don't know which one. Is it the original Funko, maybe? I don't know. I'm just gonna have to hit them with the hashtag instead. I don't want to add some random ass person. Dream Stream Team. Apex Legends. Of course. And because I absolutely hit him with all the hashtags. And can't forget. R-E-Y? I think it is. Where you at, Rayla? Where you at, Rayla? R-A-Y-L-A. Okay. Okay, my bad. Oh man, adding all these extra letters in there. I don't need these extra letters. Is it the? No, it's not. Is it the? It might be the. Or is that not coming up like it's... Oh, because it's not connected. Come on. Joe. The Dragon Prince brings up craziness. The Witcher. Thick memes. Oh yeah. We're live now. Stop by and say hi. That's a super long post. Cut that one out. I already used it. No need for double hashtags. Not today, Satan. not today. We don't use double hashtags today. Good enough. Good enough. Hopefully I spelled everything correctly. Because I didn't go back to read it, because that's what I do. What up, Ozzy? What's happening? Do you mind if I jump on a couple games? Not at all, man. Not at all. My bad. I was just super focused on getting that out. There was a lot of words, a lot of letters, a lot of English language. That B's a problem. Don't want to play some Emily Bronte. Yo, what's this Emily Bronte that you speak of? I want to play it. Oh, see, English language words is hard for me, bro. Okay. Alright, I am inviting Ozzy, Mr. Ram, to the party. Because he has to play a couple games. So I said, shh. You do you. I gotta clean up this whole mess I made for my social media post. So. Good news is it's done, though. that was quick. We'll just call it one kid wrecked. We'll call it. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, if nothing else, you turned him into a bitch. So. I apologize for all this ruckus now because I'm putting little vinyl Funko Pops in plastic housing and then in their cardboard box, so it's making a lot of shit noises. These are pristine characters that loses all the value. And then rip somebody off and sell it to them like it's a brand new thing, and then they'll get it and there'll be fingerprints all over it, and they'll take you to small claims court for misrepresenting what the item was. And then at some point in one of those steps, people laugh. I don't know who. Hold on. Are you yelling to me? No, she's yelling to the dog. I thought she said something, can you come out here? I don't know. Okay. Very nice. I like it a lot. I like it. Although you don't have to draw. You can get coloring books. I yelled and asked if you were calling me and you didn't answer.
Are you kidding? I said yes, come here right now.
That's not what I heard at all.
That's what I said.
Alright. So what do you... Alright, I'm coming out now.
Get a fucking pizza cutter. I don't know where the hell you had it, but he's constantly getting shit. They're not keeping it.
Oh my god. Jesus. Jesus help me. I don't know what I heard, but I don't know if you heard me yell, but I said I said, hold on, and I yelled, I said, are you talking to me? And she said something like, bring it here or something, which, like, I assume that's not to me. Yeah, man. Thank you for the sparks, Ozzy. Can you chuck me in and invite? Yeah, I invited you. You're here. What's happening? It's probably an old message. Probably an old message. That's what's happening. 3 down, 17 million to go. Okay, so you're that one. Ow. Okay. 4 down, 16,999,999 to go. I'm kidding. It's just 2. Okay, and pop you guys into. Some of these pop in nice and easy, and other ones want to make me drop stuff all over the floor and look like a fool. Oh, he's willing to party. What's up? What's happening? Cool, cool. I hear you sit like a champion. You got them. The what? Yeah, you like that? Well, that's actually Kim's artwork, but I'll take the credit. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're actually, yeah, no, she'll never know. Somebody that I work with is into what she calls birding, which is like bird watching, but she takes pictures of them. So I assume maybe it's a different thing. I don't know. But she actually enters. She's part of like an art group. She does photography, but there's other like, what up, Zeddy? Thank you for the sparks, buddy. She's a photographer, but there's other people who like do painting and stuff there. And she's actually showing at a community college around here. There's a show February 7th, and she's got a couple pieces in it. And really anybody can enter it. It benefits the college, so like it costs money to enter it. Everything has to be framed and whatever. And then if somebody buys a piece, everything is priced at $125. If somebody buys a piece, the college gets 25 of those dollars, and the artist gets 100, which is pretty sweet. And so I'm gonna go to that and check out like some stuff. She showed me some pictures. It's pretty interesting if you like pictures of birds and stuff. Like she got like a good picture of a bald eagle and like other stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And I can't enter that because registration is closed for that. But there's another one March 30th that is, the theme is black and white with a touch of red or something. So I'm gonna enter that one. So I gotta work on an art piece for that.
Sounds pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited. I don't know if it's gonna be a drawing or a painting. It's probably gonna be a painting, but I don't know. Oh, and Zero, what I was saying earlier was, you don't gotta draw anything. You could just color something. There's a fella on the YouTubes who, oh, you done that game, Zero? You're done that game? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am.
We can jump into a game. There's a.
Okay. I thought you were doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. I was putting stuff away. But I'm done now. The dude on the YouTubes that the reason I started following him was because he colored coloring book, but he like colored it super detailed, like with shading and like all this amazing stuff. And so you could do stuff like that. I mean, it's not his artwork; it's like a children's coloring book, but it looks amazing because he shaded it and stuff. So you could just do that.
If I can find a tentacle manga coloring book, I'll probably.
Bruh.
I mean, you probably could you probably could find a picture to color and print it out. That could probably be a thing.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I know they have adult coloring books too, you know, with like, you know, I guess more, what you might call more arty things, but it doesn't matter if you're, like you said, if you're doing it in like a cool, detailed way. I don't know if I have, well, I don't know. Maybe I could get good enough to color it well, you know. I don't know if I could get good enough to draw it well without thousands of hours of practice.
Well, I mean, that's what he does.
But,
I'm gonna give this up to you guys. I mean, he also draws and stuff, but like he colors.
Where you boys want to go?
Wherever
Then?
you want to take us, buddy.
That's why we gave it to you,
Train
brother.
yard. is
Train
the-
yard it is.
What were you saying though? He draws.
Yeah, he draws too, but like the reason I followed him was because of shit.
I'll try and land you somewhere safe, mechanic. I'll try and land
No, I'm
you
good.
up
I'm
top
good.
as well.
I was just looking for his. Yeah.
No, you're good. Okay.
Looking for a video. I can.
Just wanted to make sure that you didn't like get absolutely stuffed
Yeah.
over.
Probably gonna happen anyway. There's fast legs in front of me,
Yes.
and I just missed my shots. But he's missing his shots too.
I'm coming. Shit, there's another one.
Nice, good teamwork.
There's another one coming. Yeah, hell yeah.
I need something
Yeah.
besides a longbow.
Ready to go. We be fast and they be slow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, just finish him. Grab the
Okay,
stuff.
I'm grabbing this armor. I'm on the way. Oh no.
This
Where's
dude's
this
mine.
other sucker?
Mozam.
Yeah,
I just wanted
suck
to
me,
Mozam
chump.
him. It's just such like a disrespectful thing to Mozam someone. I don't know why. It's just.
I mean,
It's completely
why am I using
that
disrespectful.
is pretty.
but it's great fun.
It is super duper fun.
I like to follow it up with a tea bag, but
I'm not that. I'm not like that. That disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm not
I'll
either.
say.
yeah. I mean, I don't teabag anyway.
I'm not
I
either.
teabag all the time. I teabag only when it's inappropriate for me to teabag. When I had nothing to do with it, that's when I teabag.
Like you just see someone die, just start
Yep.
teabagging over their
Yep.
blocks. We got a drone here. One of the loot bots.
Oh,
It doesn't have a vault. Oh, just missed it.
I could use that if you're not using that zero. Yeah.
What, sniper stock? Yeah, go for it.
Cool beans.
Here's 15
mechanic.
lot rounds.
Mechanic, I got something for you.
Oh,
no, wait, not that.
yeah.
There you
You
go.
want those heavy rounds back?
Take the meds. Oh, I
Oh,
don't need the
okay.
heavies. I'll
Okay.
just drop them as well.
Cool.
You know, you were talking
Those
about your co-worker
Yes.
birding earlier. I'll also bird, but that's what I call it when I pull up on the road or pull up in the parking lot next to the third guy in line at the drive-through and blow the horn at them to get their attention, then shoot them a bird and peel out.
So
Bro, what?
it has to be the.
So they can't drive after you. because they're
Okay, I
stuck
was
in the
gonna
drive-through
ask.
line.
Does it have to be the third?
Someone just dropped in on you guys, right
Okay.
behind you, Zero. Be careful.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
on
it's
the
got-
other end. They just flew in.
I hear them.
That's what I was trying.
Yeah, mechanic, let's go
Yes.
help Zero quick.
I'm looking. I don't see. I'm coming.
Oh, were you wanting to come in here and kill
Bruh.
somebody that's better than you? I hope not.
I
They just
almost got him,
Drop
but he
down.
melted me. Yes, mechanic. Oh, you should have done your special quick press. Oh, it
Good
was only
shit.
two.
Oh, you're down already.
Yeah, I just jumped down to make it a bit easier. Whoa, I love this thing.
There you go. A little pat.
Who doesn't like being revived?
Somebody else is
like
flying
that?
in.
Oh,
Somebody
no.
else flying in. I'm healing.
That's another squad, the one that's flying in right now then.
Alright, well, I am dropping the longbow for this flatline then.
If anybody sees them, please ping them if you can.
Yeah, I don't know where they are.
There's a couple of boxes up here. There's a blue armor up here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll probably come
Yeah,
down
yeah.
for blue.
you do that.
Wait, actually,
No,
mechanics,
good,
I'll
good,
go first,
good.
You grab
You're
it,
good.
mechanic. Go there first.
You'll
Nah,
do
grab
more
it,
work
mate.
with it. Yeah, man.
Okay then. Ooh, shotgun ammo too. Nice.
301 in the same box as the longbow.
Wait, where's the
It's
blue
a-
armor?
Yeah, right there.
Where's stuff go? Oh, here.
Up top in
Thank
one
you,
of the
guys.
cars.
Oh,
Yeah, thank
someone's
you.
popping off.
It sounds like they landed over
Oh, I
the
see
other
them.
Yeah,
side.
hey, they're
Pushing
up here.
zero.
Up here.
Broke his shield. He's got a charge rifle.
Yep.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh!
you got pooped on.
Birdman just pulsed over there.
On me.
Oh, I need to.
Hey, hit
It's
the-
a third
oh,
squad.
There's two guys. Oh my god, how many squads?
It's
are there?
another squad.
Hey, yeah, dude, you should heal. I'm crawling away.
Yeah, I got killed.
They're eliminating motherfuckers.
And they just rezzed their teammate. So there was two squads there, not just one.
I'm trying to.
Right above you, I think, Joe.
No worries, brother. I got you.
Oh, on the steps. Whoa, 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 whoa! How many fuck? There's at least 4
Good
people
try.
there.
Good try. There was a million.
Yeah,
people
there were a
attacking us.
lot of
Jeez, I
people
was not expecting that.
there.
We did good, I
518
mean-
damage.
We killed 2 squads. I mean,
Yikes!
Killed 2.5 squads because we downed. Well, killed.
well, yeah, that's right. I know what you
mean-
mean, though. Yeah.
We were wrecking kids' faces.
We were, bro. I don't like this game sometimes.
Why not?
Because you know when you just shoot before you get knocked, and sometimes it doesn't like count as hitting the player, though it does hit him.
Yeah, it like stops your damage from happening.
Yes, that just happened to me then. Because the guy I was shooting at, I broke his whole armor, shot him again with the shotgun. All pellets hit him in the head, and then I go down. It's just like, what?
Yeah. I've had that happen with grenades to me. Like, grenade has been thrown, I knock them, grenade blows up, and I take no damage. It's pretty sweet
Yeah.
when it happens in your favor.
It's pretty sweet.
Because like, I can only imagine how mad he is
I just love
when
when
he's
them
like, "What?
grenades do
I see
nothing."
it blowing him up. How is that not killing him?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Sorry about your luck, bro."
Oh. Does my mic sound okay?
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
Just
swell.
making sure. Oh yeah, also mechanic. I got myself a blue snowball.
Ooh.
But I hate Microsoft.
Why?
Well, the IP address.
The fuck
stuff.
is a blue snowball?
It's
Yeah.
a microphone. The one that mechanic uses, Joe
Yeah.
uses for gaming, streaming. God damn it, gaming.
It's it's Blue's the brand,
It's-
and it's
Blue's
yeah.
microphone, the size
Yeah.
of a snowball.
so like Blue also makes a
Anyway,
Yeti,
we
which
were wrecking. Let's go
Yeti
back.
is like a top tier microphone. Snowball's not quite a Yeti, but it's like a mid range. Yeah,
But it's super
it's
good,
well
yeah.
worth the money. A Yeti
I think I've heard
I'm
of
gonna
some other
go-
brand. I mean, some other
I'm
model
gonna
of
head here.
blue microphone. Oh, that's the Yeti.
Yeah,
Blue,
Yeti
okay.
is.
Okay, right. Yeah, that's the one
Starts
I've
at
heard
like
of.
$100, but can go up to like
Yetis?
I don't know, a couple
Great.
$100. Yeah.
Really? When I see them, they always start at like $120. That's why I got the Snowball, because it was only $60.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mine.
Well, on sale on Amazon, of
Yeah,
course.
mine was I think $50 when I bought it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's American because mine was €60, so that probably is a good conversion rate.
See, I thought that Yeti was the brand and blue was the model instead of vice versa.
Yeah, no. I was away.
God.
I was
I mean,
wrong.
it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, I think I want to run with the triple
For
take.
whoever requires it.
Get zero to tell you.
If you're using that
No.
EVA, there's a
Oh,
double
well, that
tap on
changes
that.
things. I was just dropping the EVA to pick up a triple take, but if it's a double tap,
Yeah, I know, that's why I just pinged it. Ooh, guess what mechanic?
ooh, another one.
And also for you, Zero.
Oh, I don't know.
What'd you just... The helmet?
There's so many
Okay,
Yeah.
things.
Because you don't
here.
have one, bro.
There's a select file
Okay.
for the
Oh.
prowler.
Oh. Oh
both
man.
downstairs
Let
if
me.
you
Yeah, I
have
want
one.
them both. Oh man, my. Man,
I can
my
drop another one for you. I was gonna hold
dick-
on to it, but
my dick couldn't be any harder, man.
yeah.
Oh man.
Mechanic's just in heaven now.
All the select fires.
It's like, yeah.
Man, I'm coming for that.
All the
Coming
best
for
stuff.
that double tap. Oh, I never picked the thingy up.
I got charge
I gotta
rifle.
Go drop
yeah.
my triple take and
Yeah, mechanic, you
Prowler,
never grabbed
it's
these.
hard to believe we're in heaven.
yeah.
Can I-
I'm coming.
Come on. Quick, steal it.
I'm dropping the energy ammo for your charge
Oof,
rifle.
that's what I need.
Alright,
Thank
now I gotta
you.
go back for that EVA. I forgot to bring that with me like a dum-dum.
Ouch. It's just like, I'm just not gonna. Oh, I want that gun. Just forgets it. Halfway through a battle. Oh, I forgot. I don't
Yeah,
have my
forgot
gun.
all about it, bro. Alright. So now I don't need that.
Snipe stock, yep.
I guess I don't need that.
Standard stock here. Level 1.
Thank you. Oofed.
Oofed.
I'm getting set up.
Yeah, I need some more. I got a bunch of light ammo that I don't need anymore, but I need heavy.
Train?
Train. Oh.
Going past, okay, it's not coming. I thought it was coming this way. Does anyone have any spare?
Yeah, but I
light?
got light for days, bro. All for you. All for
Can I
you,
steal
bro.
some,
Here,
bro?
you can have them all. I don't need any of them.
Ooh, thanks, bruh. And bruh, just for you, bruh.
Some good news. We're in the next ring.
Shield battery if anyone
Yeah.
needs it, bruh. 'Cause I
Tony
can't
Hawk.
carry it, bruh.
Tony hawking down the steps.
Oof. Oh, Tony Hawk, my favorite game. Well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite games growing up as a
Yes,
child.
man.
Pro Skater
Favorite
3.
skateboarding game?
Yep, Pro Skater 3. Oh, at least I think it was I can't remember which one, but there was like this big helicopter in the middle.
Yeah, I lived.
Oh, I hear an enemy.
Okay. Oh.
Shit. Oh, he melted me. Fucking
Oh
melted me.
boy, are we
God
gonna
damn.
make him fucking regret that shit? Oh, that's how you feel?
There's more. Yeah, there's one. There's. Dude, oh my gosh, that was a fuck up.
Oh, they split! Damn, they're playing like pros. They split the building. And I'm getting executed. Son of a bitch.
Oh, bruh. Yay! bruh, this bitch lagging like hell, bro.
That's why
Have
she
you
killed
guys-
me. The extreme lag was
Yeah,
the only reason.
I just shot
She
her,
killed
like,
me with me doing 0 damage.
Yeah, because I focused on her and her friend was behind me because I was focusing on her because she's lagging like hell.
I was like, what's all this lagging? I can't even pull my trigger. I mean, that's how I've
That well, I mean, that is insane.
She was lagging like hell, bro. That was like the worst lag I have ever seen.
Man, she lagged so
Bro,
bad. I
that
just
was a
got
bit
booted.
trashy.
lost Joe. Yeah.
There was a pretty bad lagger earlier in the week, or last week, or whatever. She was like jumping all over the joint.
Yeah, one of those times.
Bro, that was horrible lag just then. I hate when people get lag because you can't shoot them.
That was pretty rough.
Like, everyone else was fine and she's like glitching around.
Yeah,
It's
it was like,
wait, what?
she's here, then she's 10
I didn't even notice she lagged until I was dead.
Oh,
and then I was
yeah,
like,
I
whoa,
didn't
you
notice
were
she lagged
laggy.
until I ran and then I saw her coming after me. I was
Wait,
like,
why
wait,
am I in
she's
a
running
thing
on
by
the spot,
myself?
and then she like teleports.
Today is gonna be our day.
Oof.
Because Apex sucks.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we didn't get put through, only you got put in.
Cool beans.
Here, I'll invite you again. I'm going to give you a minute to... I guess you have to get...
To the starting screen.
Yeah.
I'm
Just say when you
flying.
match your character select.
Yo, I just got in as well. Why did I just get put in?
What?
You fucking kidding me.
Wait, I accepted
what?
that. Why did I not let me...
What was that? What?
It shows you in my lobby. Ozzy,
Yeah,
your
I'm not in anymore. That was weird. It just loaded me into a game and then
Send me
brought me
another
back
one.
out.
This shit is cray.
Alright.
Bam. Mechanic, your setup looks dope, bro. Especially with those
It
minis
won't
now.
let me leave.
The pop vinyls. Oh, they're all the Apex ones.
Yeah, I don't have all of them yet.
Bruh.
But
Where the hell did you get them?
GameStop.
Bro, I wish my GameStop sold them. Because I've been looking for them everywhere.
Yeah, the I wasn't gonna get the Mirage, but then I saw. Oh my god! Now I can't ready up. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna leave and start a new party.
Yeah, just chuck us all in. And
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get Mirage. I saw Mirage a couple times, different places, and I wasn't gonna get them. But then this one is like the
Thanks, mate.
half invisible special one, like mid ultimate or whatever. Like his lower half is like see through. So that's why I got him. And I posted before. I also have like Wraith and Gibraltar Caustic.
Yeah, they look dope. I really wanted to get them. There we go. It's all ready up and jumping.
Ready. I be ready, ready. I be ready.
I be ready too.
Ready, ready. I be ready. Zero's not
Zero,
ready, ready.
you're not
Zero's
ready.
not ready.
You're disappointing us.
It's you two who aren't ready. By being
Bro,
ready.
what do you mean?
You ain't ready for the
It's like, oh,
killing
where's
that's
you two, though?
happening. I be ready, ready. I be ready.
Bruh.
I be ready, ready. I be ready.
Oof, that's sad. Oh. So yeah, I have to like get a new Wi-Fi receiver for my computer so that I can start streaming using Streamlabs OBS.
What's up with your Wi-Fi John piece? Why is this shit not working?
Nah, it sucks. Cause I've got my Xbox just hooked up to my
Like what?
Wi-Fi while my computer's got
Okay.
Ethernet, but apparently then they can't connect. Like they have to be both on Ethernet or both on Wi-Fi.
Oh, to use like the Xbox
Sorry.
app or whatever.
Oh, your headset.
Yeah, for the Xbox console
Yeah.
companion.
And ready to go.
And it just sucks. Cause it's just like, why would you do that? Just make you're running off the same modem from downstairs. Why can't you
Right.
connect? Like, I don't get. It's just the Xbox companion app. Because if I go on the Xbox store, my computer recognizes it being on the same network,
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
and it's just like, so if I buy a game over my computer, I can download it directly to my Xbox from my computer.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Bruh,
Oh, I'm
mechanic run.
running. Oh, I'm running. This fat boy's running. Okay.
Mechanic, I'm coming with you. We've
There's
got
no guns. There's not a single gun
Fuck
in
you,
here.
bitch. Bruh.
Leave them gas traps. I'm jumping.
Watch out, Zero.
He better watch out because I killed him.
He better watch out like a bitch. Oh, I hear footsteps.
Hope you enjoy
Oh,
being a
oh,
boss.
hey, you want to shoot? I got an arm shield. You sure?
I'm helping.
Oh,
Shoot my gas trap. Behind you. Bro, I got down.
oh.
Got her.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna need some help down here. He's coming across to finish.
He's
He
right.
just
Where's
jumped
he at?
off.
Where's he
He's
at?
right there.
Oh, he got me with the charge drop. Yeah.
Not today, Satan. Bitch.
Quick,
Hell
chop down
no.
your dome. Mechanic, chop down your dome. With the dome heals.
Come on, pick him up. Pick him up. There we go.
Yeah, cause his friend's coming. Quick, his friend's right here.
Oh, I don't have any more ammo.
Oh, another one up here.
Shit, I
Another
gotta-
Gibraltar.
Oh my god.
They're gonna thirst me. Yep, they're thirsty,
I hit-
bro.
I hit 2 EVA hits on the robot.
Oh, I didn't have any ammo. Fuck, man.
No,
Oh shit.
I didn't get
Too
a
many
gun
squads.
from the start, bro. That was trash.
Yeah, I hate not being able to find the guns.
Like, the first house thing I went into had nothing, then I went into the one with mechanic,
Yeah,
and there
it
was
was
nothing
nothing.
in there either.
That was garbo. Garbo. I mean,
Garbo.
wow, I got booted again. Are you fucking kidding
God
me,
damn
man?
it.
Bro, why does it keep on
At
kicking?
least I can invite you with one button now.
Yeah, I just chucked you an invite as well. There we go.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, Apex needs to get its shit together, but it never has since it's been here.
Since
So.
birth.
Oh, it's gotten better, to be honest.
Yeah, there's been some really rough patches.
Yeah, I feel. Well, that's true. That's true. Although I still feel like they replaced one bug with
That
another.
is usually what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you guys know that Forge isn't dead yet?
Forge?
What Forge
Yeah,
are you
Forge.
speaking of?
The new character that apparently died by Revenant?
Oh, I think he is dead, because his thing says that he's off. He's
That wasn't the
often
real Forge.
imitated, and
Yeah.
I think.
Plus, the photo they showed of Forge, he didn't have a scar on his eyebrow, and then the Forge in the like game movie thing had a scar on his
Right,
eyebrow.
I did read something
Oh, I haven't
about
seen
that.
the new game movie.
Right, you haven't
Yeah, there's a
seen
there's
the
a trailer
new
where
video?
he's
The
like
trailer
on like
thing
a
about
talk show,
Revenant?
and he's like, he has like blue eyes and a scar over his eyes.
Does that mean, did you
Yeah.
get the medal? Yeah, did you get the medal for it?
Yeah, I did. I think Joe and I got it.
Yeah, because the medal's down in there.
We'll do
use
train yard
Bangalore
again.
or
I've got a good
Okay,
feeling.
I'm
about
down. I'm there. I'm
Bruh.
down for the get down.
Bangalore was my first character I ever used.
I don't know actually. I feel like
I'm gonna head
alright,
here.
I'm gonna hit the ground. I'm gonna hit. Oh, other people are hitting the ground also. This is not a.
Bro,
And
I'm
there's
set.
no guns here.
Zero, there's a RE45.
I got a 99 and I'm chasing
Hopefully there'll
a
be one in this
Watson
car.
bitch.
Mechanic, be careful right here.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Second one
Okay,
coming to you,
yep.
mechanic, be careful.
Oh, I'm being careful. I'm running away.
God damn, 3 bins, no guns. 4 bins, no guns. Fuck!
Come on, take from my cargo bot, bro. One down here, mechanic, he's coming towards you, be
Okay.
careful. Another one coming up.
Okay.
Blue
I'm
armor.
coming, Joe.
I hear these footsteps.
Ah.
Oh, dead. Oh, she dead.
Uh-oh. You
Oh, I
dead?
just grenaded. Watch
Dead.
out. Oh, behind me. Right here. Show him there can be only one robot.
Gold armor.
And he's got a gold knockdown. Oh. Oh no.
Right. 1-0.
Oh, the charge rifle sucks.
You literally have the exact same
There
guns.
you go.
What is this matchup? Yes, 0.
You know, I never thought she had a chance, but
But I've been surprised before.
0, if you want to grab that armor and stuff since you just saved our lives.
thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, one of you guys get the knockdown shield.
Okay, then I'll grab.
Me.
I might grab that Eva 8.
There's
Yeah.
a double tap there.
There's a double tap and yeah.
I just got a gold Eva 8, so it's pretty good. Gonna quickly take a Phoenix. Oh, I could use that barrel stabilizer. Oh, blue body armor as
Dropping
well.
40 heavy next to that heavy clip.
How do I keep picking up body shields that are empty? Right? Okay, this one is full. Okay.
Oh, here's a couple of shield cells.
No, I'm okay, yeah, I actually need those.
Well, somebody.
Wait, I hear people. I think. No, I was just.
I mean,
Imagining
I was
stuff.
sliding around, so maybe you heard the fat boy sliding.
Yeah.
Cause I trip acid and I imagine dragons like some sort of a rock band. What? I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
It's weird.
Imagine Dragons is a rock
Yeah, I
band.
wouldn't. Yeah, I mean it happened.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 1. Sniper stock. Shotgun bolt here. Level 1.
I got double light and not enough.
I need just everything
bullets
for a light gun
that.
now. Ooh, that's exactly what I need, bro. Bengal is such a good character. Surprised I haven't used her since literally my old account at this vet. Wait, bro, I didn't really use my old account since before season 1. God.
There is that for somebody who needs it.
Level 1.
Pop in the chimney.
Distraction.
Select fire.
Hey, yo, bud, give me my med kit back.
Oh, I just found a better backpack.
Yeah,
You
I
need that.
bro.
There you go. I didn't know you were taking it.
Thank you, bro.
Bro, who carries around a white extension mag?
I do, because I don't have a lot of bullets for the guns I have, so I don't know what guns I'm going to wind up with. I got like 58 energy bullets for my
okay,
charge
yeah, I know
rifle,
what you mean.
and now I have 90 light bullets, but I didn't have that much until recently.
Well, the longer you start, the less of an extension mag you need, so.
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I know some people still like that gun.
Yeah, I'd be one of them.
What do you guys think about the alternator still?
Yeah,
Think it's
I
still
like
pretty
it.
good?
Alright.
I like
It's
it.
alright.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I'm
Energy
gonna
ammo?
swap that son of a bitch out.
Oh, shit.
What's the matter? Oh, that's so tempting, but I got the Eva 8.
Frag grenade here.
Yeah, I almost got it, but I was like, I'm gonna stick with this.
Yeah, I've got the
301.
gold Eva 8, so I'm just like, don't really need it.
I will take it. See, and then I had that heavy mag somewhere. I gotta go find and pick up. Oh, wrong gun. Shit.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I'm dropping a couple of syringes for one or both of you guys.
Energy ammo here.
Oof, just thank you, I'll take one.
Okay.
Syringe here.
Get them McKenna quickly. We got fighting out the back.
Okie dokie.
I hear fighting coming from over that way. Like far that way.
I'm gonna start heading that direction.
Bro,
If you guys want
my
to,
god.
yeah.
PC
okay.
is, I have to say, PC is so much better because you can like see that distance. You can like see the people over there.
You're playing on PC?
What do you mean? You're playing on PC?
No, I'm not. Like when
Oh.
I play on PC, it's much better because you can see a lot further. It's really weird.
Starting to say I don't want to be doing any crossplay with PC players. That's not fair.
Why? Console's actually proven better than.
Oh, they're on the
PC.
roof.
Because they can see further and they can control better. Proven by who?
Jump down behind there.
The McDonald's.
No, by
The
people actually
McDonald's
testing
police.
it. Broken blue armor.
Oh, what? You can't see me. Yo, bro, take it. You know what?
I don't even have a scope. Oh god
Suck
damn it.
on.
Boys giving you smoke. Let's just get the hell out. Get out of there, boys.
Yeah.
You know what?
Here, I'll throw
Okay.
us a zip.
Oh, I just broke somebody's shield with my ultimate.
Give me a-
Heads up. Dropping the pain. Heads down. Airstrike danger close.
I just chucked down my
Nice.
airstrike too.
Hopefully some sucker-ass Majuka decides to take that zip to escape it. And I will.
So, Aussie, in one breath you say
Yep.
PC is so much better. Then when I say I don't want to be playing with PC players because they have an advantage, you're like, oh, console has been proven better. So, I don't know
Console
what the
has
fuck
been
you're talking
prov-
about, just
no.
to be honest, right?
Console
right
has
now.
been proven
No, PC
that
is
the
better, but
player
console
base-
has been proven better.
Bro, PC player base has been
They're flying
proven
in?
that it is harder to get better. Like, on Xbox it's easier to get, like, good at the game. Because you use your thumbs to, like, aim around and it's easier than using the whole mouse.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to
Let's follow zero,
backstep on
mechanical.
what you were saying and change it up, then that's cool too. But
But that's what I was meant to say.
It
Is that
sounds like
it does
there's
change.
fighting on the other side of the vault tunnel.
Yep. Do you guys see the spaceship, like, up above us
Yes.
now? The hint for season 4 thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Anyway,
I don't know,
where'd
they
these
flew
guys
over
go?
here somewhere.
no, I can see what you're saying because there's aim assist on console. But I mean, you
Yeah.
still have advantages on PC as well. I mean, you got more precise control, and like you said, you can see
Right,
better.
a good PC.
So
Yeah,
if you're a
but people
console
say it's a-
player against a PC player, you're probably at an overall disadvantage in my mind.
we
but-
need to move.
Whatever. I mean, if they disabled aim assist for PC users and kept it enabled for console users, maybe not. Maybe it's pretty,
Right, with
pretty level
right.
playing
That's
field.
very well could be if aim assist, which I guess it would work that way because aim assist is naturally on for consoles.
Yo, someone's
Right.
been in Vault.
Someone's been here.
Yeah, they might be in there now, dude.
Purple armor, nice.
I'll take the daggy.
There's a lot
a
of good
purple
stuff in
knot
here,
down.
Blue
Jesus Christ.
vest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they left a lot of good
Stabilizer
shit.
here. Level 1. Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
So they probably got gold now, the other
Yep.
team that was in here. I hear people
Okay.
healing up down here.
Okay.
I literally just heard someone taking a syringe.
I hear them too.
Yep, I hear them right around this corner. Oh, I thought I did. They're right. They're close. God damn it. Oh, he was around the corner and complete. Dude, I think he was in a glitch. Maybe I just didn't see him.
Got our brother's banner.
Yeah,
Knocked one?
third one's. I saw the third one running away earlier.
Contact with hostile.
There's somebody healing behind you.
Oh no,
Maybe
okay, the
that's
guy was getting himself
Maybe
up.
that's all.
Finished him.
All right, that was the whole squad.
Good shit,
Yep, be
guys.
careful.
Good shit.
Be careful. There's
No,
another
that was the whole squad,
person,
it said.
I think.
Just said whole squad.
Quick, grab the stuff in here. Grab the stuff. Grab the knockdown.
Level 4.
Good job, guys. Good job. I might have just not seen him because everything was so
No,
dark in that
he was
corner.
hiding in the corner. Literally, he was over here like this. He was in this very corner. Because I got
Joe,
up top
look
there and I
for,
just saw him
will
down.
you
Yeah.
look at him so I can look
Good.
again?
Yeah. So he was in this very corner, like in here.
Oh, okay, that's like it.
All right,
Okay.
we got a
Damn.
minute.
Where can we
I
rest
don't
him?
think-
Fuel depot?
Yeah, I
Fuel
don't know if
depot?
we won't be able to get back in time. What do you want me to bring? What gun do you want?
There's a
301 or Hemlock?
Well, fuel depot's in the circle. right on
What
the
gun do you
edge
want me
of
to
the
bring for you?
Heads up.
Oh, whatever. Hemlock.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ring ain't far. Half of one.
They just respawned down there, so we have to go to fuel
Okay.
depot now. Like
Yeah,
if we
well,
want to
just
go
want
get
to
them.
bring the guns and the stuff for him. Okay, let's go.
Oh, don't forget an extra armor.
Got you. I'll just
You wish.
double vest up.
Nah, just do the walking thing where you pick up one armor and you switch it for a better one, then drop that
Oh
one and
yeah,
pick
that
it up
doesn't
again.
take forever.
Just slowly make your way over here with blue armor. We got fighting right there.
Hopefully they won't see us.
Looks like we're in the next ring.
Just do. You don't see me. You don't see me.
Just be careful though. There's probably a squad in here.
Yep, I just heard gunshot from in front of us. Yep, we're running up on somebody. I think they're in the building.
There's people in this house. I
In
hear
that
them.
building.
Yep. Fuck, the squad's coming
they're up
towards us
here.
as well.
Yeah, I don't think.
Burger shield.
Good shit, Joe.
What? They're in front of me.
What? Oh, there's two. Their
okay,
buddy came
that's
up
what
behind
happened.
him, Joe.
Cause I thought I landed a bunch of shots jumping off that roof.
You did. You broke her shield, and then
Ah,
it was an insta kill. I didn't like. I saw you die like instantly, and then I noticed the second
Yeah, same
person,
here. I
you
didn't
know.
notice them until I was already like crawling on
that
the ground
quick.
at the bottom. But I jumped and I was like, "Brrr," and it felt like I was hitting them, and then I died like mid jump.
Yeah, no, that was a good battle. You broke her shield on the roof before you jumped.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
And I.
wahahaha. Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-bum. How could ya?
Meow.
I don't know who to go as. Ah. Oh, I should have gone Wraith. God damn it.
Powered up and ready to go.
Air challenges, you better watch out for me.
I need some music.
Bow, bow.
Heads up for a pucker factor.
Where we going? Zero? Oh, Zero's
Oh
gone.
man, I
God
definitely
damn.
should have picked the character then.
Long winter?
Mother.
More like long winter.
He's back.
Oh, he's back, thank God.
He's
Just in time,
back.
Zero.
The Zero.
Could
Nope,
either
it's
you
all
guys
you, bro.
pick your
Nope.
character?
Nope.
Like,
Hold your breath. If you have a
No, I
respiratory
normally just let it
system,
go, cause
Because
Don't know
I'm
why.
a pimp.
yeah.
well, me too, but
Yeah, we
I'm
should
gonna hit
have.
right.
I should have picked.
you're the adult
I mean,
here. I'm just kidding.
I'm an adult.
Bruh, have a couple here if
Didn't mean
anyone
to
needs
pick up 2 Mozambiques. I mean, I'm just kidding about it being your responsibility.
See,
Not
haha,
about you being an
fake.
adult.
Listen,
Fake,
the
he's not
person with
actually
2
dead.
Mozambiques is the one who makes all the good decisions.
Bruh, he was only level 1. He's the often imitated, but never defeated, except for
that
one time. Honestly, I still don't think he's dead.
Oh, there's so much stuff.
Of course you went purple. Got a vault key?
Oh, nice.
Got a vault key. Sniper stock here.
Nice. Oh, this one's got a vault key too.
Knockdown shield here. Level 1.
And it's...
Get it.
I fucked up. I fucked up. Got it.
Shut a cargo bot.
I don't know where it went. Oh, these bins are open over here. And there's people shooting. Oh, you found it. That's mine.
Yeah, got the vault key.
What was gold in there? You stole something else that was gold.
Fast charge
No, you can
helmet,
have
do you
it.
want it?
Motherfucker.
Helmet here. Level 4.
Well, actually, then your dome will get back quicker. Your dome will get back quicker, so then you can res us better. Like, faster, better, easier.
Faster, better, easier.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Let's quickly go to the vault right
Okay.
there. Like,
Yes,
before zone
yes,
comes
yes,
in.
yes,
Let's
yes,
go.
yes, yes.
Because I got 2 vault keys.
Okay, come in. Wait, what? I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way, like a freaking noob. Like a noob.
Hey, we got ourselves a new kill leader.
But you're not a
Oh,
noob.
shit.
I threw a zip line.
Okay.
Thanks, bud. No, you stupid.
I was so Joe and I can
coming.
catch up.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Zip line. Zip it to the line there. There we go.
Ooh, that
I
sounds
need
good.
heavy
Oh, no, no,
bullets.
Yeah. I'm gonna open up the vault
Okay.
now. Come on, quick.
Oh, somebody was just being brought back.
1. It's
Okay.
open. Bruh.
Yeah.
Just fell. This
Mechanic for you. I think that will be the best. So when you're
Oh, somebody
in your
just
dome shield.
flew in behind me. How do I get? How do I get
Quickly
in?
grab the
Okay, here we go.
backpack.
Yeah,
Just
I
grab
got
the
it.
backpack,
I'm doing the stuff, bro.
That's everything. Let's go. So are you sure
It
there'll be
sounded
people
like
behind
it.
you?
shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
I don't
It
see
sounded like they
anyone.
flew in by me. I hear gunshots, so maybe somebody's engaging them.
Let's go up.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go up. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. We got this. Ain't nobody gonna call me a bitch.
Hell no. Oh, dude, right there.
Yep, exactly why we
dudes.
need to come up to the top. Whole squad. Oh, he's seen us.
Mm.
Yeah, they've seen us.
Hit one for 41. Hit one for
We're out
45.
longbow.
Are we engaging them? Should I throw my special?
Hit one for 96.
Alright, I threw my special on them.
Watch out, I'm opening the sky.
Oh, there's one right here. Oh, it's in a and it's a Gibby who's got pretty good accuracy.
Got it.
Oh, and they,
I just chucked in my
Okay.
airstrike as well.
need to do a quick
Another
shield
dude in the
swap.
distance.
Be careful, they're coming in.
Sorry, I just grabbed some loot out of that. We'll share it once it's done.
With thermite.
Oh, he's sniping. He's
Turning
fucking
him.
me.
I've
Oh,
literally got a
I was
perfect
fucking.
plan.
I was behind this rock. That's bullshit. No! Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Save yourself. Save yourself.
Shit. I got one of them down over here. He's getting his
Yeah.
buddy up right here. It's the last guy.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
coming.
I'm being sniped from the distance.
I'm getting stopped though from the railroad tracks.
It's another squad, bro.
Oh yeah, hey, we're a million miles away from the circle.
Grab all the
You might as well just
Yeah.
run, Aussie. I mean,
Wait.
grab all the good
There's
stuff
no-
out of my box. Grab the bag, the helmet,
yeah, you're like a million miles. Yeah.
the condoms, the beer. Grab it all.
Bro, there's dudes everywhere. Fuck me, bro.
I mean, if I have to, I don't really want to though.
Bro, no, that's a joke.
Okay, good. Because I was putting my lipstick on. So I'm trying to draw Mario here, and it's not turning out when I like the reference, but then when I try to make them like my own little style,
Bro, how did I just make it out of
it
there?
looks much better, huh?
Sorry, it's not turning out.
Yeah,
like the
it's
reference
not
was
looking
watching.
like Mario. I mean, it looks enough like Mario. It looks like a stylized Mario. It's not looking like Mario.
You boys ready to be
Yes.
brung
Brought
back?
back? Yes.
Bringing the backeth?
That's one of them tough words. Roads.
Oh, you got our
Wow.
banners. Good shit. Good job.
Yeah, boy.
Roads. So yeah, it's not quite Mario as you know him. It's
It's Lario.
it's what Mario would be if Mario could be a plumber or something.
Okay, boys, there will be one gun here. There's a Havoc here with
Okay.
ammo.
You want the Havoc, bro? There's another ship going into Fuel Depot.
Yep.
No, go for it. I'll get something.
Oh,
Another team down there.
shite.
Oh shit. Spotted it. And we're double timing. And we're double timing.
Yep.
Can I run?
I'm spotted. I got nothing. I got nothing.
I'm coming
And
to
I'm
you,
down
Zero.
again. Where's he at? Oh, that's the guy's.
Okay.
That guy's down. That guy's down.
Yeah, I
Nice.
just knocked him.
Good shit. Oh, there's somebody else up there.
I'm going to help him.
I got no guns, so you might as well just fight. Yeah.
Hop in the chimney.
Fat boy on the flank, boy.
Bruh, fuck off, come on, I was so close. Yes,
Oh, I
Oh,
threw
it's
that
two of
shield
them.
way
Yes.
too far.
What? Oh, it almost looked like they shot through
Yeah,
the dome.
no, I
at
threw
you.
the dome, but I
I'm
guess
sure
I
it
wasn't looking
but-
at where I thought I was looking at, and I threw it like 25
Bruh,
feet
good
away.
jobs. That was a good game.
Yeah, that shit was intense.
Oh, there were 2 squads there.
Yeah, they were making us look like fools.
There were 2 squads because I downed one and I got the kill for him, and then the guys that killed you were a full squad.
Sons of bitches.
Oof, I shall be back
Okay.
in 1 second.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, my Mario's not really looking like a Mario, but I'll send a pic once I get enough of this idea down. And you can tell me
Alright.
what you think.
And I'm back.
Damn.
Welcome back, bro.
Why do people with babies have to post new pictures of their babies every other fucking day? God damn, it ain't just the same as they did 2 days ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, because I mean, it's kind of like a new thing happening that they're excited about. It's like when you get a new car. I mean, you post
Like
pictures about your car.
Yeah, right.
Introducing your champion.
By the time you see me coming, I'll be going, and you'll be gone.
Be gone.
And then when they're 10 and you're still breastfeeding them and still posting pictures of it, what about then? What's the excuse then?
Then you need to kill it.
Then, like,
Like,
you
just burn it
only
with
are
fire.
talking to
Boys, I-
people who are doing the same
Okay,
thing.
where we going?
Wherever you want to go.
Let's go here.
So it's normal.
Here. Dropping in.
As your social circle
Yeah.
grows smaller.
I'm gonna go top right again.
Okay.
Alright, I'll go
Let's explore this way.
there.
You wanna come with mechanic to top right?
Sure.
Because we got more enemies
Sure,
here.
I'm here. Oh yeah, they landed in the...
God damn it.
No
Ah,
guns.
Getting
Fuck
punched.
everything.
Getting punched to death.
Or you
Oh,
go that way, I'll
fuck.
go the other way for a bullet.
Double punch. God damn it.
Got
Oh,
nothing.
wow, there's an Eve over
There's
here.
one of them's coming upstairs over here, guys. On
Okay.
your side, mechanic. Yeah.
Alright, I'm grabbing this.
First blood.
Reloading.
You should have went somewhere else. Oh,
Another one
oh,
coming
shit.
your way, mechanic.
Yeah, you said that and I saw the robot down the steps. I didn't realize there was a banger war behind me.
It's okay, friend. I was just better this time.
Bro, how fucking dumb are people in this game?
The dumbest.
Yep, that's the closest one. Perfect. That was honestly the easiest escape I've ever done.
Sweet.
Fuck, man, I keep fucking his hand up.
Meds? Oh, perfect, bro. Just gonna quickly take this med kit and then I'll go get you guys.
Do what you gotta do, bro.
Better shield, please. Please, please, please. Ammo. Okay, shield cells should be good if I get in a fight. There we go. Eva 8. Inside a peacekeeper, wingman.
Good revive.
Good.
Mozam.
And Mozam's mine.
Take that wingman. There's a peacekeeper down there.
Okay.
Joe.
You calling me?
And
Babe, are you calling me?
are you threatening me? Are you threatening me?
Okay. And now she's like, oh, I'm yelling her up. Like, it's obvious. That's what I thought was happening last time. And you gave me a bunch of shit. Or not.
P2020 here.
There we go. Please, R99.
Body shield here.
No, not.
Oh shit, we're at. Oh.
No, I. Fuck. Because I pinged
Almost
two
started
things.
blasting on your bin, man.
No, I pinged two things, but I did it too fast, so it went enemy.
Almost started blasting on you.
Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Some punk
Oofed.
that I roughed up
Got a
way
hemlock.
back. Coming back after all these years, like, rat-tat-tat-tat. That's just the way it is.
There's a white armor
Okay.
over there, Joe.
I got this alternator. Grab that guy. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got a white shield. I guess I'll take. Oh, a blue.
Here's a blue
I
one.
can't get up this ladder.
Yeah, I just pinged it.
Oh, you
my
already pinged it.
goodness.
Okay.
I'll take that. That's
See,
not.
move this way.
No. Nothing.
Smart
I
out?
was trying to ping the blue armor and it like pinged the wall in front of me because my
yeah.
guy's dumb and doesn't know how to use the ping system.
Okay,
Line here.
where do you guys want to go?
I don't care.
Oh, we could go
Yeah, I
get
don't
this
know, I
vault
mean-
up near the geyser.
Oh, you got a vault key?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Do
go for
that.
it. I mean, it
Okay,
sounds good
let
to
me
me.
make my portal.
Portal that
Um,
portal.
I'm grabbing
Pour
the
out that
the
portal.
havoc. 'Cause I got both for that. I'm dropping the peacekeeper. Maybe I should have kept the peacekeeper. I don't know. So many decisions, and I always make the wrong one.
Oh, there's also a supply drop here. This could be very good or very bad. No, I don't wanna. You fucking. God damn it, game. Do you wanna go to that vault quick? Oh, it's just out of zone. We can still go get
let's
it.
go be crazy, mofos.
Yeah.
There's also a
Yeah,
supply
that's
drop
it's a
just down
wide
there.
circle, so.
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty.
Because we can also steal that supply drop.
Yeah.
It's not stealing if we get there
It's
first.
not stealing if we kill everybody who's around and take it for ourselves.
Exactly.
If hopefully there's a Kraber. That would be
This whole
amazing,
area to
bro.
our left is not looted.
Yeah,
All of the bins and stuff before.
I'll go get Vault.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
Be
look
right
at
behind you.
that.
Vault is just out of zone, bro. But like, what, 2 meters?
yeah, it's just the second. That's just the first circle, so it's not gonna hurt
Yeah.
much.
Got the vault open. Let's see what's inside.
Gold helmet for
Bro,
you,
no
Joe.
body armor. Really?
What?
No body armor. That's shit, bro. Joe, you might want to go in and get
Okay,
that
you guys.
helmet.
I figured somebody would pick it up. No. Okay.
Heavy ammo here.
No, we
Oh,
left.
you
We
guys
already-
are swell fellas.
Foul smell.
The foulest smellers.
You're a smelly
The
fella.
smelliest fella. Alright.
Skirt.
There was a,
I love the
what's it called? A prowler up there, I think, and a
Let's check out this way.
select fire out here, I think. If somebody's into that weird.
I'm gonna try this
Bruh.
Wingman 301. Oh, somebody's in here with us? Is that what you said?
No, he said
Where?
bro.
What?
No, I was asking.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
fuck yes.
did up to that
Fuck.
if anyone needs it. Because I just dropped my alternator for an R30.
Fudge yes, bro. Fudge yes. There's that select fire roll.
And there's also a thing inside.
All this is not looted.
Shit.
People here. They just shot at the drone.
No,
Oh,
that's
was
me.
that
That's
you?
me. But there's bound to be people here now. In a second. Yeah, there's another.
go grab
get
that?
it, get it, Aussie. I've got it. Get it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you got it?
We all
Okay,
got
nice.
Faz Jones.
Quick, we need to start
Fast
moving in.
Johns. Yep, yep.
That's
I can throw us a zip line when we get to a little higher ground.
Yeah,
sweet dealio.
bro. I've been up all night. My eyes are fucking
Oh,
tired.
no. Don't do it. I
Crusty,
just found out
tired
it makes your
eyes.
memory terrible.
Yeah, I've been waiting up. Been waiting for mechanical all
Don't
night.
do
long.
that. Don't do that.
Yeah, bruh. I haven't had sleep for the past 2 nights, mechanic. It doesn't matter. We've got enemies up
Okay.
there.
He's lost an inch from his adult height. Joe.
Well, I appreciate
Exactly. We're probably like 5 now.
it. I'm stocking all these
Because I've done it more than
extra
5 times.
people's.
I'm just scouting to see where these suckers are
Jump
at.
on
We're
this left
outside the
side.
circle.
Jump on this
That's
left side.
at
Yeah.
the zone.
I'm harassing the shit out of them.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm backing up.
Okay.
Backing up. They're going to get hurt by that level 2 circle.
You
Run,
can't touch me,
mechanic.
Circle. You can't
Aha.
touch me. You ain't nothing but a bitch, Circle. Look at you. Haha, you're all stuck there, Circle.
Ready with this wingman for the survivors.
I don't think they're gonna come this way. How dare you?
I just had to, I'm sorry. I kept on hitting your shield for some reason. Like your gun shield. What? You mother trucker.
I'm skiing.
What was that? Anyway, let's head down.
I'm
Let's
already
go
down.
down this way, because they're fighting down further to the
All right,
west.
All right, all right, all right.
Alright. Do we need another portal?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know.
Actually, I should probably keep it in case we do get in intense situations.
Yeah, I like intensenesses.
Wait.
Wait.
Just checking first. Okay, it looks safe. Let's move on.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, good son. Do you want to go up the zip lines?
Yeah, let's do the zip lines. Woo woo.
Too bad you're not
Oh
old enough.
man.
Oh, shit's going down on that building.
Yep. Yeah.
I got an alternator to have it.
17 blue. Just keep an eye.
Ah, he's shooting me while I'm on the zip line. Why is he so good?
Yeah, I'm not.
23 purple.
Probably not. Yeah, we shouldn't run in on him. I don't think. That's me trying to grapple up there. Shit, I need some light ammo.
I can drop some.
Kraber? Oh no, longbow. Longbow here.
I'm more
22,
running
17.
downhill to take the zip line.
I think that actually he might be using a Kraber.
We're about to have the storm door back. Are you?
I'm zipping up.
There's some light for you, Zero.
Thanks, Brohim.
$23.18 purple.
What do you mean? Oh, okay, okay.
Purple armor. They've all gone to the right.
Okay,
Up.
I see,
One
okay.
right here. 18, no armor. 23. Oh, almost got him. Bro, you can barely throw a frag in this game.
I mean, they're like 2 miles
Well,
away.
actually, no, that's actually quite good. Nah, bro. Just check behind us, make sure no one's sneaking up on us.
Yeah, I looked just a second ago and didn't see anybody, but that was a few seconds ago.
I don't see anybody.
Because I'm just worried because there's an opening up there that the people can get through. We have to push them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We have to
I
go
think
get
somebody's
that
engaging
house.
us.
Yes. So,
Yeah, we should move
okay,
now.
yeah,
Let's-
I'm going.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go
We're
down?
going-
Okay.
I mean,
Because I was
to
gonna
that
say,
house you
there's
marked.
like 3 squads down
Yeah,
here.
but
Be
we.
careful. Because there was a house on that. Oh, look, boys. I just saw someone right
Okay.
there.
Okay, I'm running to the house. Yeah, shot somebody in this house a minute ago, so
Yeah.
nobody's upstairs.
Optics here. Close range.
Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
They're all fighting here.
All right. Shit, I missed every shot on that fucker.
Yeah, same here.
Only 2 other squads left.
Oh, we're gonna have to keep an eye out behind us as well.
Here's a purple body armor.
Okay, you can grab it.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
You're the one that.
Thanks,
Oh,
son.
okay. Thought you both had.
Oh,
Never
yes, oh, no, thank God.
We get some good news. We're in the next ring.
Oh, somebody just jumped down. I just saw, like right over there somewhere.
Let's go here.
Guys, be careful of behind us here as well. I'm inside the house looking behind us.
Okay.
Okay,
I see them over
you
there.
want to go to the house a sec?
They're on the roof there,
Hostile right
and
here.
they're. I'm
Okay.
pinging a box in front of me. They're on that roof, and I saw someone running around down
Yeah.
there.
Contact with
Okay, good. No one's behind
yeah.
us.
Oh, so you're scared dumb. Donkey shit out of me.
Grenade, be careful. Underneath. Broken purple armor on Bangalore up back. We've got people behind us.
Okay.
Wraith, broken purple armor. She's running. She's right there.
Shit, she's hiding behind that box.
Behind you.
Yep.
Anyone have nades? Just throw one to the side, like right there. Perfect.
Oh, there she goes.
Broken armor again. Down.
Yeah, you got her. One in the doorway of that building down there.
Yep. Almost downed her. She's almost dead. We've got one more squad after this.
Oh,
Be
they're
careful.
shooting from the right. Yep.
Over here. Yep.
Oh yeah, on that roof.
Break. Kill it. Kill
Wraith
the
is
Wraith.
dead.
Yes, boys. Perfect.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Be careful of
Yep.
people on the right.
Need to recharge my shield.
I got right covered.
Yeah, they're hiding behind that roof like complete cowards.
Got a heal. Take it a knee.
I'm gonna throw a zip line to their right. I'm not on it. I'm just
35.
Ring's moving. Ring's moving. We
Or
gotta go.
to the roof people.
We gotta go.
Okay,
Let's go.
zip line.
Ozzy, we gotta go. Ring's moving.
They're jumping down. They're attacking me. Oh my god! They're right there. I'm dead. Fuck.
Oh shit! I just called that on us by accident.
One down.
Stay in the bubble. Stay in the bubble.
Bubble. Bubble.
Oh, the ring.
Oh my god! Something
ring,
killed me.
it's the
I don't know
ring.
what fucking killed me, dude.
The ring.
The ring killed
Yeah.
me, dude.
Mechanic, you killed me by accident as well.
Man. Yeah, I tried to throw it at the house and I hit the
Your
top of
ult
the.
slowed me
I
down
hit the
so
top of
much
the
for some reason.
fence and it bounced like right back in my face.
Your
Wow,
ult
I
slows us. That's
almost
so
did nothing.
stupid.
Good damage, Ozzy. Hey, I gotta get some
Oh, thanks.
food. I'm just gonna warm some shit up. I'll be back in like 15 to 20 minutes.
Sounds
Food
good,
sounds
mate.
like a great idea.
All right.
Bro, that sucks.
Won't even stay in the
Okay.
party. I'm just leaving the game.
Okay.
You going to get food as well,
No,
mechanic? Oh, you're not nice.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it,
Bro.
but
That triggers me so much that I wish your ult didn't do teammate damage and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because I couldn't walk, and that literally like completely killed me. I'm just like, wait, what? Why?
yeah, that was a fudge up on my part.
But the worst thing is, it hit me while I was in my phase, because I phase shifted, and apparently I still got stunned.
That's weird. I know, like, so many times I try to fade and I do it too late. So it's like not effective, I go down.
Yeah. No, but that was like perfect, because I was running, I phased, I was like still running halfway through my phase, and then I just started like slowed instantly down. I'm just like, what?
I cannot wait to win this match, friend.
The important thing is not to die.
Portable life, portable
Portable med kit. What?
That kid has spent so much money on the game.
It makes him feel like he's important.
You know how I can tell?
How's that?
He had 300 kills, he had the heirloom, and he had the new skin for Pathfinder. Which the heirloom just by itself costs like $180 to get. Oh, where do you want to go? Okay. I'm gonna go on this side now if you want to come
Yeah,
there
I'll
as
just
well. So we can sort of like
Follow you.
team up. Oh wow. I guess we'll go over. Where's he going?
And I'm behind you.
There's a gun there if you want it. If you want to
Yes.
quickly grab that. So then we at least both have
Oh,
gun.
sorry, 45. That's doable.
Yeah. There you go, there you go. No problem.
Alright. I'm going down the other steps to find some stuff.
Got a Havoc? Yeah, they're down here on me.
I'm with you, bro. Okay.
There they are. Just stay back.
That's my arc star. They also threw an arc star.
Knocked him.
Yep.
One more. She's almost dead. Literally one shot. Oh no, it's thirds.
Down one.
Okay, there's one more with purple armor upstairs. She just healed up there. Be
Alright,
careful.
ready?
I got you, brother.
That was gonna be a trap for when they come down. You got heals? Oh shit, I don't have heals.
Yep, I got
Oh,
my
yeah,
drone.
Okay, cool. Oh, over here. What? She knotted me with that Havoc. Oh, Jay Scout with the save.
Yeah.
Jay Stout.
The Havoc's the best.
Thank you, buddy.
Light
Bro.
ammo here. Helmet here. Level 1.
You know what I see though?
What's that?
Where'd the purple
He
armor
took
go?
it. Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, yeah. He came in and killed that last chick. So he feels it's his.
Yeah, but I already downed
Oh,
her
and he.
before him as well.
Somebody took the med kit. Probably him.
I need help.
Might be something good this way.
Yeah.
You need health? Come to me.
Alright, you can just
Yeah.
jump. Thank you.
I'll give you a phoenix though. And then I'll give you that if
Nah, I
you
don't
need it.
need
Any
that.
shotgun shells. I got a R99. And a Havoc. Bro, I love the Havoc. I literally downed the chick with purple armor in like, what, 5
Yeah,
shots
the
or
Havoc's
something.
pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone hated it when it first came out.
Yeah,
I loved
yeah.
it.
It does, that and the devotion do so much damage.
Mag here. Level 1.
Yeah. I just don't like the devotion because the ramp up. Like, I like the Havoc 'cause it has a bit of a starting ramp, but then it instantly works.
Actually, I'm gonna take that flatline. See, I like the devotion because like you can do some damage while it's ramping up.
Yeah.
Extended heavy mag here. Gotta hop up here. Choke.
I need it.
Body shield here. Level 2.
Just for you, mechanic, how goes that?
Wow.
Oh, can you...
I'm grabbing that the thing that he pinged, and then I'm grabbing that armor.
Yeah, I'm grabbing energy ammo if
Okay.
you see any. Just ping it and I'll come and
Grab
grab
this
it.
blue, and then I'm going for that. Oh, there's energy up here.
I hear people. Where? Oh, they're on the roof, aren't they?
Energy ammo over there. I'm going for that light mag.
New kill leader.
Oh, I'm gonna need that.
Yep. Outside, they're coming in, they're coming
Okay.
in. Be careful, they're coming in.
Yep.
Don't go, don't go.
Copy that.
Hey, I'm getting shot.
I threw a
Careful,
grenade.
mechanic. He's on the roof.
Get that.
Stay away
Yeah.
from the doors and stuff.
I want to go get that blue bag real quick. It's right here.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 2.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that. There was a scout somewhere. Oh shit! Push the roof.
I am taking
Oh, I'm coming.
enemy, giving my shields a recharge.
Ooh, gold body
Yo,
armor.
he's just
So
like
killed him.
trying
Nice,
to loot
bro.
all the fucking shit.
Yeah, oh, there's some stuff up here if you need it. Not much though, because... Oh, my star. Oh, come here,
okay.
mechanic.
Myself to keep them up.
I'm coming.
No,
you're
drop down
down
here,
here?
drop down here.
We're down where? Oh, you're down here. Okay, I see.
Or are you
Okay.
looking for stuff over there? Yeah, just so. Here we go. And this will heal you up your little bit of lost
Thank
health.
you. I'll put.
Bro, I just got a turbocharger as well.
Phoenix kit here.
There's no vault, so I'm dropping that shit.
There's vault right here.
Yeah,
Or
it
is it
was
open?
Let me
Oh,
just
it's
double
open?
check.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it's opened. The one by
No,
the
there's-
geyser, but that's out of.
Fox. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel him. He's going over to it for some reason. I'm not going to. Can I wait 1 second? Got a birthday present for you. Hopefully it's purple armor in it.
Yeah, man.
Let's explore this way.
Purple knockdown over there, yeah.
I'll grab that now. Let's
Actually, I don't.
Let's
need
get on
all
top of
those
here.
heals.
Syringe here.
I don't need all those.
I don't have any syringes. I should probably grab some of them.
Probably. There's those two, and then I can
Syringe here. Light ammo here.
just 2 more here.
Actually, no, I can't carry anything. I need a bigger bag.
Wait, you got a blue one. Yeah.
Do I? Well, I need a bigger blue bag.
You're
I need a
carrying too
double
much
blue
shit
bag.
there, my friend.
Right, okay, let's get on top of the roof, quick.
Yep. Yep.
Climb on door.
Hostile close.
Bro, why does this dude
Because
run
he
ahead
wants to get
so
all the loot
much?
because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, they're coming to us.
Making contact with the enemy.
Oh, where you at? Where'd you go? Oh, you're over there. Okay.
I'm down here. Cause where'd they go?
There's one on the roof up here. Actually, 2 up on the roof.
Target over there.
Our friend's running, bro.
Making contact with enemy. Hey, I'm getting shot.
Oh, yep, they're pushing me.
Run. Of course I'm
Oh, yeah.
Run,
No,
mechanic,
there's
run,
a shield
run,
here.
run, run.
Shields. I'm good. Oh,
I jumped off.
motherfucker.
Coming up.
He's getting his buddy out.
Contact. Hostile right here. Contact.
Yeah. Good shit. Oh, he's coming for loot.
Thanks, brother.
This dude seriously just wasted his
he's
zipline for
coming
that.
here to loot. Don't let him get nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Grab everything you need, bro.
There's more syringes
You
there.
can get stuffed.
Syringe here.
I just got a bigger bag and I've already
Nice.
filled it up.
Care package. Phoenix
Yeah, I
right
got
here.
some syringes, it's so good.
Got a hop up here. Select fire.
R301 here. Healing up. Give me a sec.
Right, we're doing so good. Oh, don't waste that mechanic. Don't. Stop. Don't use it.
Health drawn if you need.
Use that.
Here, I'll push this off the edge, just so I'm not. Yeah, there
Just
we go.
go down here. There we go. Bruh. Wait, it's not healing. Oh, okay, there we go. We got a supply drop right here. Just wait
Yeah,
for me,
I'm
I don't
just-
want like a team
There's,
to ambush.
He pinged some stuff over here that I want to
Yeah.
get.
Oh, purple armor, perfect. And here, take this. Use one of them. I just dropped a fixed shield cell for you.
Thank you, sir.
Quick, we need to get over there before these dudes steal everything.
All of us are in the ring. Eyes on your map.
Ammo here.
Um,
Light ammo here.
Never mind.
I'll do that. Alright, here we go. We got this shit.
Phoenix
Got a hop up here.
Knockdown
Hammer
shield
point.
here. Level 3.
Tree.
Heavy ammo here. Energy ammo here.
Bruh, I'm full. Like, I've got so much good stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty kitted. Pretty kitted to the tittits.
Get ready. It's zip line.
Okay, friends, teammates, things, zipline thing. Why did he set up here? This is like the wrong direction, bro. Oh, because he's doing the thing. Yeah, I guess. We're going back down now?
Okay, I just want to check this.
We're going back this
See
way
if
now.
this stuff is looted. It is not
Yep.
looted. Oh, there's a blue light mag if anybody needs that
Got
shit.
a light mag here. Level 2.
I hear people near me.
Alright, I'm coming.
Fighting. Triple take.
Fat boy's running. I got my running slippers on.
R301. Run.
Who needs a level 2 body shield?
He seriously, bro, yeah. I totally need that, bro.
I mean, that
Bro, he's already like pinged all this stuff.
that I missed.
This spud is
That I
not.
missed.
Nah, this dude's just pinging the crap.
Okay,
We got enemies right there.
On the way. Oh, I see a Gibraltar man. There can be only one Gibraltar man.
We've got enemies right
Yeah,
here.
let's engage the close ones first. I'm going up to the roof up here.
Gonna watch this spot. No one's getting by
Yep.
me.
I think our friend's just literally running straight in. Oh no, he's not. He's listening to us.
Making contact with enemy.
Okay.
Bro, this dude literally just runs for the care package, doesn't even care about us.
Oh, shit. I'll take that
Anyway,
med kit
yep.
and drop 6 syringes. That's 6 syringes. Oh, should I put a digital sniper scope on? Probably, right?
Sure. Fuck, they're right here, bro.
Alright, I'm coming.
There.
Enemy spotted.
So there's snipers down there and there's kids inside this.
Hostile spotted. Hostile over there. I am taking fire, friends.
Yeah, well, don't just stand there pinging them.
So yeah, there's sniper over there. He pinged. There's people over there.
I say we move this way.
We know where every squad is. One squad there, one squad over there, one squad here. Yo, mechanic, pull back.
Right here. Taking a knee. Recharging shield.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know that there's someone under there. Okay,
Oh,
he's
shit,
going in.
alright.
Friends are coming to kill us. There's another squad.
There's the only one Gibraltar, bro.
One down.
Recharging shield.
Healing up. Give me a sec.
Oh, they're right here. Nice.
We're in the next ring.
Okay, so we still got 2 more squads outside.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Medkit here.
Gotta heal. Taking a knee.
Oh shit, I was closing those doors.
Target spotted. I'm spotted. Taking fire. Destroying health drone.
Yeah, so close the door then, you idiot.
Recharging my shields.
Shield cell here.
I think they're both teaming on us.
Because they know we're a
Like-
threat.
They're both shooting at us and not
Chilling by that
each
truck
other.
over there is one of them.
Yep.
Come and get
To add some
Okay.
cover, I'm putting down
Nice. I'm gonna see what I can see from
supply drop.
the bottom.
Opening fire on the enemy. Enemy over there.
Welcome back.
Kick their ass, guys.
Target spotted. I am taking fire, friends. Recharging shields.
hostile over there. That's a safety.
Bro, I just hit him directly in the face, but it does nothing. We're gonna have to push them.
I just broke. I think it's a wraith shield. Where-
10 seconds.
Okay, we're gonna have to run. Go.
Okay.
Zip line deployed.
They're grenading at us.
Extra coming about.
Hey, I'm getting shot.
Oh, that fucked me up.
Nope, don't go
Oh
in here.
shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. That might be game.
No good, brother. I've been down.
Bro.
Because we ran in the house.
Okay, so I thought there would have been a
So,
door
yeah.
on the other side, bro.
Motherfucker.
Like, normally houses have 2 doors.
Yeah, we done fucked up.
Where's the other squad? Because there were still 2 enemy squads. Oh, and now they start fighting. Bruh. That was such a good
Yeah, that
match.
was pretty good. Definitely enjoying it.
I only have 77 kills with her. Wow.
Fuck all that lame shit. My team is too dangerous. Zero logic is putting work in
There we go.
tonight.
Oh, I'm getting hungry. I might go grab some pizza, boys.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Yeah, it was a special occasion last night, so I got pizza.
Yeah, was it a special occasion? Was it somebody's birthday?
Yeah, it was my
Yeah.
birthday. How'd you guess?
Happy birthday. Or happy belated
Thanks,
birthday.
Zero.
Facebook told me.
They put like sauerkraut and sausage on German pizzas, or
You can get it like that, but I just like normal pizza.
I'm just kidding.
Because they've got Domino's over here as well.
Domino's is. I like small pizza places
Yeah.
over like the chain guys.
Yeah.
I was created for this.
Bow, bow. I actually like Lifeline. I might get used to her. She's pretty useful.
Yeah, man. Saved me a couple times.
A couple, yeah.
Can you say the same?
Here we go.
I miss the old map.
Yeah, it was fun when they were doing the
Like, I miss Kings
when they were
Canyon.
doing Kings Canyon at night. Was pretty good.
But I want the originals King Canyon with not Wraith's place and
You gonna
not
be able to
Octane's place.
6:45.
Anyway,
Okay.
where we're going,
We'll go to
mechanic?
the sorting factory.
Let's land here.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
let's do
head
that.
in there with you as well.
I'm gonna get Kim up at 6:45.
He doesn't like lifeline. Doing the weird big twirly whirly thing.
Oh my, here. No, take it, take it,
sorry.
take it.
Take it. There.
Okay.
Because you got the ammo for it. Already got a hemlock, it's fine. Zero, be careful of up there. Did you loot that one?
Yep.
Okay, all good.
I'm gonna do the top
Um,
floor of
I'll
this.
I don't think anybody landed with us.
Next ring isn't close. Check your map.
Oh wait, sorry, everyone has one of them.
Tony Hawk and 99.
Anybody got a Havoc or
No.
Devotion?
No, sorry.
I've just got a turbocharger. If
I
anybody
will
needs
take one
one.
if when I see one.
All right. Well, I'm dropping it
Okay.
here. If you would like to carry it.
Okay.
If you shall like to acquire.
Oh, we got somebody right here on me.
Very much.
Oh shit! Go.
Oh.
Where?
Right in front of me, but they're down. But they probably got a team.
Good shit. Get popped.
Oh, Havoc.
Right. She went to the left. She's on top. She's almost down.
shit.
Get her. Yes, sir. Zero, one more on me.
I gotta heal.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Oh, we did get him. Nice.
Here's a Devotion.
Yeah, I just picked up a Havoc.
Bro, I
take
did
that
so much
devotion.
damage. All I did was damage just then. No
Oh
kill.
my god, so much energy ammo.
Long way to the ring.
So I'd put 20 light in there.
I don't know if you picked up that turbocharger,
No,
but
yeah, I'm
there
gonna
was
go
that
back for that.
turbocharger back there.
Wait.
It's on the second floor, on the north side.
So there's a light mag over here. There's 20 light bullets.
Light ammo here.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm set.
I could use some heavy ammos.
Zero, you should have just told me. I could have activated my healing drone.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were lifeline for a minute there.
Oh, I didn't put a sight on my Prowler. Which I definitely need to do.
Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
Oof, thank you very much. I've got like a fully purple
Oh,
peacekeeper.
nice. Oh, hey, there's a box up here.
Hemlock. Open
Bro,
here.
I just
Oh, there's
noticed.
also... Yeah.
Mechanic, did you notice? Like, this is the T110 skin, and if you charge it up, the crystals go
Oh,
like
no, I
bright red.
have not noticed that. That's pretty sweet.
Damn, that's
Pretty
dope.
sweet, though.
And a hemlock and a wingman.
Oh, I need that heavy. And a... Okay,
There's people inside.
One second.
There's people
I need to grab
inside.
this.
Okay. You're down a shield unit, Ozzy.
I need to grab this. Oh shit's on my. I need to grab this ammo though.
Or no, mechanic. I thought it was Ozzy.
Alright, I'm coming.
Recharging shield.
Well, going up the balloon.
I'm zipping. That's probably where his friend's heading. We need to take the balloon anyway,
Okay.
let's go.
I was coming to the
Alright.
Yep.
Quick mechanic. Perfect.
I saw they went in this direction, but not exactly where. I'm going right here.
This way.
Keep on going to the
Okay.
left, boys. Oh, they're right here, right here.
Body shield
Blue armor.
See where I'm going past?
level 2.
Hey,
Gibraltar. Oh, it's another squad.
here, I threw my
bro.
blue armor off the roof.
Yeah, Aussie, there's blue armor back there for you. Oh shit, circle's
Yeah.
coming.
Watching the spot.
Shit.
Thanks, bro.
Alright, up.
Oh, mechanic, I see
Yeah.
what you did there. The tiny bit of damage on your armor.
No, I actually dropped it so we have to go on the roof. But
That triggers me so much for some reason.
I actually dropped my armor first. I dropped it off this thing and then
I have no
I have a
syringes.
couple. But yeah, we need to move. I don't have a whole lot.
And it's gone.
How far is our run? Kind of far. Well, nah. Capital City.
I'm gonna throw a zip.
Just halfway through cap.
I can't.
Bruh. Zero now, you
He did call it. I couldn't reach it though.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it for a minute that I had it.
He's too busy reading them articles.
Damn them
Damn them
articles.
articles.
You boys might want to heal up.
Yo, mechanic, you got to heal.
Taking a knee.
I am repairing myself.
See a death box in here.
Oh shit, there's people in here.
No heals.
Nice, good
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Good shit.
I'm coming.
Oh,
He's dropping down.
Reloading.
Broke the robot's armor.
Think we caught that enemy.
Got one down.
nice.
No way he's killing you,
Good.
mechanic.
Shit, bro.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Yeah, kids. Syringes. Med kits.
You boys?
Oh my man. Oh my man, pots and pants.
Backpack here. Body shield
Blue
here.
armor.
Level 2.
Light ammo.
R99 here.
Heavy ammo here.
Not too far. We should hustle.
Oh here.
Okay, boys, let's get out. Let's go.
Shield battery here.
I didn't realize.
Boys, come on, we need to go.
All right. Nobody wants that shield battery.
I got
I
plenty of
can't carry it.
I will remedy.
On our way, I'm gonna try and get lucky for you guys.
Don't get lucky. Don't get lucky. Get even. Alright. I need a select fire arrow if we see a select fire arrow.
Lockdown shield here. Syringe here.
Okay, not really much. Keep on running.
I can see that the rings
Oh,
Here, I've got a
boy,
zip line. Well,
Go zero, quick.
Yeah.
Throw it, throw it.
need to climb on the zip line.
Mechanic, no.
There we go. That's a
Thank
yeah,
you,
such a good
Zero.
zip line. I could run back a little bit. It's all gravy, baby.
I think there's
Okay.
people here. No, there's not. Okay.
Well, let's just
But
shoot
good.
the walls and pretend there is.
only 6 other squads.
So much energy ammo. It's ins.
People's
Oh,
here.
yeah,
People
definitely
here.
hear
Zero.
Okay, I'm coming.
Broken armor, almost dead.
Oh, just got pulsed.
Got one down.
I got one of those too, bro. He's down and dead.
Oh yeah,
Bro, you
one
boss.
left.
That's all of them.
Okay, cool. Circle's coming in. We're good.
Mag here. Level 3.
Oh, there's purple armor
Heavy
in here.
rounds. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
You might want to get out of here. Oh, you're not inside.
Shield battery here.
Extended light mag? Oh, shit, yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's still in here. It's still. There were two of them. I just took the one I pinged.
Yep.
There's another one. Where's that purple
Yeah, I picked
armor?
it
Oh,
up.
you got it. Okay, okay.
Yeah, mechanic heal off.
I didn't realize it was
Yeah, I was
empty.
gonna say, bro.
Somebody's firing.
Right here?
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
I got my ult. Whenever we're ready and we need it, you just let me know where to throw it.
I broke the
Oh,
shield
nice
on that
shot, Ozzy. Nice
Killed one?
shot.
Bro, that was the champion I just killed.
Motherfucker thought he was slick.
Still over here,
One
guys.
guy.
They're one
Is
of
there
them's getting
slick
their
fire
buddy
in
up.
there? I need slick fire.
Hey, let's. Oh, we got a minute 20.
Grenades over there.
Before we
Drop
need to
grenades.
move. Let's. Hey, let's move toward the circle, guys. I'll throw us a zip.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
'Cause there's
by
three
the
other
train
squads.
station. I see them. Or not the
All right,
station, the
yeah.
tunnel.
1 minute.
Oh, I see. I see. Yep. They'll have to come to
Bruh.
us.
Recharging my shields.
Let's get up here.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Wanna
Yeah,
get up
yeah.
there?
Let's.
Oh, we're getting a supply.
Oh shit.
L-Star?
Thought that was a kid. It's not.
Oh, just let me... Okay, they're
They
fighting
fighting
with
in the
another
train
squad
tunnel?
over there. Yeah. They're fighting in train tunnel. Which is good.
Where's that last squad at? Oh, there's a. Oh, that's probably one of the squads that's fighting.
Let's check out this way.
Yeah, that's a lifeline care package. Right, I killed the champion.
there.
How good's that?
Let's go here.
Yep. One of them has gold, one of them has purple.
You guys want to push them and then.
Yeah, hit them for don't push.
Somebody's got a white.
One of those squads
One's
that were
got
fighting a
gold.
second ago got wiped out.
So watch this way. We need to watch that way now.
Recharging shield.
Yeah, or this other way where that medic's care package was over there. Both ways. Okay, I'm looking at this corner where the circle's coming in. I don't see them over there. I mean, they might still come, of course, but I think they're either going to come from. Well, we know they're at the building, but I think they'll come from that way.
He's pushing up. He's gonna be pushing here. Be careful.
Okay. I don't see him. Oh, I see him.
I do. Yeah. 61 broken golden armor.
Nice. Won't be broken for long.
Throw everything there. Perfect, bro. Oh, they've got a Watson.
Oh, okay, yep.
Giving my shields a recharge.
I'm watching behind us. I don't see anybody.
I can throw a zip line to the train track, and the train tunnel is inside the next circle. Do y'all want to try that crazy shit? I bet that
Yeah,
other
they
squad
probably
is in
are.
there.
Yeah, the other squad's gonna be in there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we gotta move in a
Yeah,
minute
let's.
here.
I don't want to get pinched. Wait till we gotta move, and then we'll do that. Because I also don't want to give them
We've got a care
a
package down
route
there.
to get to us easily. Yeah, they got a Watson thing over there, so our frags are useless. Oh,
Taking fire.
They're
Throw down
pushing.
shield. Yes.
stain shield.
Good shit. I broke the shield on that one.
Somebody's still over there shooting.
Okay, in 20 seconds, the circle is moving. Broke the shield on that one. Rebroke it, whatever.
37 on that far guy.
Rings close.
Okay,
Yeah,
quick, do your
yeah.
zipline idea.
All right.
Let's go down there.
No, we can't go down there. The circle will not be kind to us.
Well, no,
We
go
gotta
there and then
go
zip up. Go there and then zip up to the tracks.
Okay, I could have zipped us right to the
Yeah,
track.
he wanted
Okay, I see what
the
you're saying.
package of care. Yeah, okay. There's a purple here for.
Oh, okay. Well, this zip.
Oh, they're right.
Oh, goddamn, they
There's a-
are up here.
Fuck.
There's a purple.
God damn it.
How did I miss that shit?
Bruh.
Yeah, our greed.
Wait till the
Food,
last
yeah.
minute, they say.
That
Well,
is
I-
what they said. They did say that.
When I thought you said zipline, I thought you meant the other way, but then the enemy team moved up there, so there wasn't
Yeah, no,
really
I
much we
said
could
the
do.
weight.
No, that was why I said the zip line to the
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah,
but
I thought
it's
you meant the
cool.
tracks
It's
behind
cool.
us.
Oh,
No.
yeah, the tracks that would be away from the storm. Yeah, those tracks. Yeah, that's... I'm just messing with you. I'm just...
Zero's feeling icy
I'm
today.
gonna. Yeah. I'll be
No,
back.
I mean, they
Get
might
my
have
breakfast.
got us if we had zipped... They might have got us if we had zipped to them a
Wait,
minute
it's only
before that,
four-
too,
Yeah,
because they were...
my
They were obviously
right.
standing
My
there the
concern
whole
was if
time.
we set up a zip line, and then we were like poking at
They
the
can use
other
it.
squads. I was concerned that they would, the people from the the tracks
us
would have
over here.
zipped over behind us.
Well, I mean,
and
they
raped
would...
us.
The people from the tracks would have probably been waiting for us one way or the other anyway, so it doesn't
Right.
matter. We were
Yeah.
in kind of a...
It was a good
you know, I
game,
guess
though.
we
We
could have
came
gone
third.
around... I guess we could have ignored both of them and then ran back to the other mouth of the train tunnel, like toward the storm.
Yeah,
before
that's
the
what I was
storm.
meaning. I thought we were gonna do that, but then the other squad moved up there.
Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, we
Hindsight's
could always just
20/20.
like play Mario Kart or something. You know?
well, that's true. It's always a satisfying game.
Yeah, see?
You know what game I wish was out? Bless
They're
Unleashed.
actually.
That game
I
was the
think
best.
this weekend is a technical test. I think it's for the whole weekend. Yeah.
Really? Yo, bro, why am I still waiting for turn? It hasn't given me a character. Look.
That's weird. I've never seen that before, I don't think.
Bro, what? And now,
now it gives
okay,
you one,
then.
that's weird.
What was that? Okay, I guess that's what you can do. I can't believe they nerfed Wraith again.
What'd they do to her?
Her phase shift, instead of being 30 seconds cooldown, is 47 seconds cooldown.
Oh shit, I haven't noticed.
Yeah, that's a pretty long time.
I guess
Where do you wanna go?
Ozzy, you can be wherever you're feeling. I didn't really know where to go.
Let's land here. Here we go. Ready up. I'm quick, and I'll finish this. Just a step in the right direction.
I'm gonna go here, mechanic. Do you want me to land you there as well?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm moving on. I'm actually gonna go down here. That's not what.
Watch out, one just dropped here.
Get out of here, bro. This is my area to do stuff.
I'm helping
No, I'm
save
talking
your
to
life.
them, not you, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh, of course you get gold armor, bro.
Where you at, Joe? I'm coming.
Alright, I got an RE45. Oh, and they are. What? Up there on both sides of me.
Shit.
Taking shots. Reloading.
Bro, what do you mean? I literally just phased.
Crawl back this way. Crawl back this way.
No, because
No,
he
inside
sniped
this
me. Come
building.
around.
Inside this.
Yeah, they're sniping
just
from
sniped
like
me from
in
right
the
there.
yard or.
He sniped you from the revive bin, so I'm asking you to get where he can't see you.
Look at that.
I'll teach you, you bitch. You too, you bitch.
Syringe here.
I'm healing real quick.
I'm gonna have to start healing and then I'll go get
Yeah, I'm
mechanic.
just gonna chill here. It's alright, I'm drawing me a
I'll get
fancy
it.
ass Mario, so it's fine.
Oh, like a
People are right
Mario.
there.
So fancy.
0 people are right behind me, bro.
Alrighty. Where they at? Where they at?
They were literally, it was Pathfinder following me.
Well,
Oh, fuck, of course he's there now.
Oh! Oh, eat that, motherfucker! Yeah!
yeah, harvest his box, bruh.
1 minute.
I got you, brother.
Oh, dude up above us.
Oh, where's my shield at? Drop my shield, drop my shield, drop my
I
shield.
broke
I
his
don't have,
ass.
I don't have anything.
Get you another piece of this, kid.
Enemy caustic as well.
Yep.
Enemy caustic as well.
Enemy dead, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Mechanic.
Come on.
Yes, bro.
Don't worry, my brother. I got you.
Don't fuck with this on your best day, because I'll still kill you.
Damn, I need some heals.
Body shield here. Level 2.
You'll never shoot through these.
More dudes coming. I only got 4 bursts
Okay.
with the hemlock.
He's on top of that.
Okay, I don't have any.
Give me a sec.
Okay, okay.
Almost broken
63
purple
heavy
armor
in
on him.
that box.
He's
There we go,
down.
knocked him. Where'd he go? I'm gonna steal his purple armor.
He's dead.
I pinged 63 heavy.
He's about to be dead. Oh shit, somebody else is here. Somebody else is
you
here.
done fucked up.
I gotta move.
Almost killed him.
I just missed all my shots. She phased. She's over here. Bitch.
Oh yeah.
Finish the squad. That's how you get the job done.
Dude, do none of these sucker chumps have
There's
heavy?
heavy. I pinged some heavy. Oh, actually, here. Shit, my bad. Ozzy.
People just flew in
Yeah.
on us.
Over here.
Shit.
Heavy
Protect me,
ammo.
protect me.
Shit.
Package. I love these things.
There's also a box up there.
Where at,
Heavy
bro?
ammo's over here in this gold box.
Bro, a whole squad just flew in on you guys.
Oh god, I got nothing.
shit.
I got. Good shit, Joe. Another one behind you, behind you.
Oh, what? I was outside my shield. Are you kidding me?
Right in here.
Yes. There can be only one Gibraltar, bitch. There can be only one. Fight me. Fight me. Ah. Oh,
Yeah, the other one's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Oh,
shit.
how you like me now?
Why are they all crawling? One of them's got a gold
How you
res
like me
shield
now?
or something. They're all
How you like
crawling
me now?
still. Or at least I saw 3 down.
How you like me now?
Somebody's getting themselves up somewhere.
There you go.
Oh, okay, good shit. I thought he was. Hey, this fucker had a vault key
So
too.
yeah, there's a gold box
I'll get
over
Joe.
by
You go
the,
get looted and healed up and I'll get a mechanic.
the gold box
Okay.
by the ramp did have heavy ammo. I don't know if it still does.
Thank you.
Oh fuck. Okay, I thought I was picking up the wrong thing, but I wasn't.
Bro, I'm gonna stick with this. Freaking
Yep,
this
yep, he's got some
alternator.
heavy. Gold triple take.
Yo, Chips, relax, bud.
Oh shit, the circle is coming.
Shit, I don't have any heals. I gotta go.
Yeah, to the
Oh,
fucking
no, it's gonna
vault
kill me.
tunnel,
It's gonna
guys.
kill me.
Yeah.
My fat ass can't move fast enough.
Do slides. You
Yeah,
need
I'm
to slide as
sliding.
well.
I'm sliding.
Go toward the. I'm gonna drop a
Oh,
syringe.
get there as
it's
fast
right
as you
here.
can.
Oh, it's right here. It's no, it's over
in the
here. It's
vault
free.
tunnel?
It's open over here. The train tunnel. The thing in.
I'll get you
Oh,
up.
well.
It's fine, bro.
Oh shit! There's kids in the vault. God damn it! All right.
I can see
motherfuckers.
freedom right here. I'm so close.
Wait.
Punch me, yeah.
I'm in the vault, but there's a
Shit.
squad in here. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
I don't have any
Right.
waste
heals.
them when they come out.
I just like punched you. There.
Oh god
Thank
damn
you.
it! Oh, it's 2 squads. There's squads fighting in the vault tunnel. 2 squads.
Okay, mechanic. When you've done there, you need to come to the blue boxes and climb up.
Okay.
I have no more. Oh, I have a make it.
I
Okay.
can't get up the boxes. There we go. Get up the tracks. Alright, we gotta.
See you, mechanic.
Alright, man, it's been real. Go get them.
There's 2 enemy squads fighting in the
Yeah,
tunnel
Ozzy's
in
coming
here.
for you.
One of them one's in the vault. One kid is in the vault.
It's a long way to the ring.
Good shit, Ozzy. Oh, he's got a gold shield, Ozzy. Good shoot.
Man.
Not much time. Ring's far.
Shit,
They both got gold shields.
the ring's gonna move. Fuck, I should just came with
Fuck,
you.
bro.
I'm coming now. Fuck. No,
Just
fuck
run,
that.
mechanic.
Not how I roll. I should have just came with you in the first place.
I almost got them all as well. They're probably healed up now. So one's on my corpse right there. To your
Oh,
left.
I picked
Right
up your
there.
thing.
Shoot
Oh
him.
shit, in your face, in your face.
Light him up. Yes, mechanic. Oh,
Good try, good try.
nice, bro.
If I didn't pick up the thing,
That alternator is
yeah, I
actually
love the
so
alternator.
good, bro.
I'm a fanboy.
It's very accurate.
Oh, I'm getting the hiccups. The hiccups. I'm gonna hick you up. Bro, that's like the best I've done though. It just punched mechanic back into the zone. Just like, Joe, get him the fucking.
Stop just crawling
Oh, I
around.
didn't see. Oh, I took an alternate route.
Yeah, he was just crawling around, so I literally just punched him like 3 times to get him back into zone.
I can't wait to get down there and do a job. Ineptitude is the true killer.
There's a wing out there waiting for us.
What do these boots look like?
Bam,
Just
bam,
regular
bam.
bumps.
See, I tried to play ranked before. I got 12 kids and I'm just like, oh, this is good. It went up to 32 after like 5 minutes. I'm just like, Jesus, this is taking a long time. And then it went down to 16.
You mean in the queue?
Yeah, like in the queue, it's just like,
This is
bro.
like, fuck you, no rank today, bruh. Not for you, son.
Yeah, like, I can't play ranked. Okay, where are we going?
Wherever.
I don't know.
Let's land here.
Places with guns,
Go, ready
hopefully.
up. Let's do this.
Oh, no places here have guns. This is family friendly.
I mean, basically. But yeah.
Imagine if it was a game mode family friendly and it was the people who high-fived other people the most.
You mean punched him in the fucking face?
Yeah, basically punching, but it counted as high fives. And after every like zone going in, the ones with the least high fives will be eliminated.
I mean, you got an active imagination there.
And given participation trophies.
Oh yeah, Havoc.
Yo, I hear somebody right below me somewhere.
Yep,
in
he's down
that
there.
Region
Let me,
Noid.
oh. Let me grab that gun. Fuck what you heard, bro.
Alright, let's do this thing. Havoc here.
Oh,
I'm coming.
We're not all in the ring.
Opening fire.
13 blue on that Gibraltar.
Dude, when are they gonna
He's
learn
running,
there
though.
can be only one Gibraltar? Gibraltar's
Yeah,
like
bro.
Highlander.
I'll take that Havoc.
Yeah, man.
Let's go this way.
I'm running Havoc.
Yeah, go for
also.
it. Here's
Is
the
there any
energy.
extra ammo for it?
Yeah, I got
Awesome,
100,
perfect.
so you can have it.
Where'd this fucking Gibraltar go?
He must feel the quickening! Oh, who's shooting?
Bro, I just had to shoot that thing like 500 times.
Prowler SMG here.
Dude, where'd this little tune in or
Oh, you already knocked it down. It's just,
Not gonna
it's
chase
just
me
a
anymore. I'm
drone.
tired of it.
Fate of the one.
Got a Volkey?
Yes,
Guys, come back. I got a Volkey.
key.
Alright.
Dude,
Let's go to that
vault
vault.
key.
Take what's in it.
The key of the vault.
I need light ammo.
So,
They need to introduce a third thick character. So then it can be thick squads Thursday. Or
It'll
thick
all be
squads
a
Friday.
lady, and they ought to call her Lizzo.
there definitely should be a thick lady.
Yep.
Mecha Lizzo.
I mean, I think that would be awesome if they did. People would be against that, but like, if they did like celebrity characters, like they did,
Yeah,
Someone
that'd
else
be
should
pretty-
take that as well.
like when they
sweet.
did.
Yeah, go for the. I got a backpack. Go for the
Shotgun bolt here.
shield.
Level 3. Gotta hop up here.
Ooh, I'll take
Oh,
that
no, I
purple
need-
mag.
Oh yeah, shotgun bolt.
Sniper stock here. Level
I thought that was a turbocharger. I could use a turbo.
Okay, let's head back up.
Yeah, like they
Yeah, I
they
could
put
use a turbo.
Marshmallow. I don't really
Plus
know who the
light
fuck
ammo.
Marshmallow is, but they put him in Fortnite
It's what I long for.
just as like a skin.
I don't know who Marshmallow is.
He,
either.
yeah,
He's
he
a song
makes
artist.
like I think he does like remixes of stuff.
Ring's not far.
Yeah.
He's what they would
Okay.
call him a DJ back in our
thought-
time, but now I think that's just like their
right,
own
right.
genre of music now.
I thought I heard someone here. Just...
What? I
Sure.
see something purple. What's that purple thing? I want some purple
I need more
stuff.
light ammo. I'm completely out, boys.
I have not seen any light ammo.
Knockdown shield here. Level 3.
Wait, do I have one of them? Yes, I do.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 1. Barrel
Oh, it's
stabilizer
a-
here. Level 2.
Come get it. Come get that.
Level 3.
Oh yeah.
Bro, how did no one see that before?
Light ammo here. Light ammo.
Light ammo? Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah,
we were
boys.
running for the vault.
Some good
Um,
news. We're in the next
Oh yeah,
What's the
you
matter?
mean the armor? Yeah, I don't know. You said how no one's seeing. I was like, because we're running for the vault, but you were talking about that
Get
purple
that
armor, I
zero.
guess.
Get
That
that.
was
Get that. Get that.
right in our face, right in our face panel area.
Level 1.
All right, where we going?
Oh, I
Yeah,
got
where
an
did-
itchy ear.
We
where
gotta
have you
move
guys
the other
gone?
way.
I dropped us, you guys get to move us, and if we die, I
Alright,
blame
sounds
on
good.
you.
You want to set a portal?
Where? Oh, to the
I
supply
don't-
drop.
I see
Somewhere
movement
towards
out
the-
there.
Okay.
Enemy over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I see.
Yeah, there
people
is.
as well.
Yep. Yep. I'm gonna run toward him
15
just
white,
to-
15 white.
I got no
That's,
short range.
That's an enemy yet.
I mean, I got no long range.
I got a peacekeeper with a choke on it.
They can't shoot for shit.
Hit him for 8. Hit him for 28.
They can't shoot for shit. You're correct in that assessment.
I just heard. Yep, over
Wraith
here.
is running.
30.
Wraith
White.
is running.
Oh, 94 to the face balls. How's your face balls feel, bitch?
Behind you, Zero.
Okay,
Light and heavy ammo there. I'm coming.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, we're having one hell of a night, man. I should be making clips left and right.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of kills. Yeah, you should start
I
broadcasting.
am, bro.
even.
I'm streaming. Nobody's here to watch it. Nobody's here to watch it, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I should probably be
Are you
streaming as well,
serious?
but I
Oh,
haven't.
ow.
Streamed.
They're never watching
That
our
hurt.
good nights. Shit. Shit. Shit.
They're rushing. They're rushing. Pathfinder?
Fuck, why can't I find shields?
I need
There
to
we go.
shield up.
Give me my shield to recharge.
Race armor's
Alright.
broken.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh
New
shit.
squad over
Getting
there.
torn up.
Pathfinder's armor's broken.
Oh goddamn.
Ping him if you see him. Oh, I see him. 19.
Pathfinder's down.
Somebody's closer here.
Dude, I keep getting fucked up. Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out.
Both of them are down.
Last member's down. One squad closer to.
Oh, I'm about dead.
Come to us. I need. Okay.
I can't. They're firing between
Okay,
our two
I need to
rocks.
shield up.
Zero, where are they? Can you ping them?
I don't know where they're at. They just kept sniping at me.
They're dropping on you, Zero. Run. They're landing on you.
Land on some fucking
Land on these nuts.
gas traps.
15 blue.
Oh,
God
they
damn, I
should
can't
not
get
have
away.
split up.
Administering medical aid.
They don't know who they're fucking with.
No. Oh shit. Dude, they're all around us. Oh my god. One in the tower and then the
Oh
ones
shit,
fighting
that
close to
airstrike's
us.
gonna hurt.
I don't have any more heals. Yeah, just get away. Just get away. Oh, good shit.
There's
Where are
one in the
they?
tower sniping at us.
One's in the tower, but some are in the field with us somewhere. I think.
Yeah, they're grenading the shit out of this dome. Oh, they're here. They're here, Zero.
Behind you, Zero.
Yeah, I'm dead. Don't worry about me.
I
Just-
dropped my ultimate.
we always get surrounded. Coming up on you, Aussie.
I'm trying to just sneak away. I got a gold knockdown.
Oh, there's two of them, bro.
Keep him busy so I can get behind this rock.
I don't know. I don't know how many squads are around us. It was a fucking bunch, though.
Yeah.
I'd say there were two squads surrounding us. I don't
Yeah, heal
understand
right
why they're
here.
not fighting.
Yeah, heal.
I have. Okay, I do have some syringes. They're coming. They're coming.
Oh, there's people right there.
Gotta heal. Taking a knee.
Are they that dumb?
One can only hope.
You have
Nah, I
an
just
airstrike.
used it right before I went down.
Gotta heal. Taking a knee.
Let them go. Don't.
Oh, she was just like waiting for me to turn around.
Dude, if that was if that was only one squad, that blows my mind that one stayed in that tower that whole time and two of them were like a mile away fighting us in the field.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah, boys, what's the time? It is.
Yeah,
7:09. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go steal some pizza.
Okay, okay.
So, I'm actually kind of happy how my fucking goofy ass Mario's turned out.
Like
More
Mario?
like if Mario was like a fucking plumber pimp, kind of, with like I don't know. I'm kind of digging it. I'm figuring out his feet situation right now.
Word. Like a plumber or pimp.
Oh, I'm still in this game like a dum dum.
Wait, 1 more minute, boys. 1 more minute.
All right. Dirt pizza swiping. Hey Joe, why don't you send me a progress update on your Mario, or you want to wait till you
Yeah,
get
I can
done
do
with it?
that. That shit is not right though. Man, perspective is so fucking difficult for me to. I'm like making shit up here. This don't even make sense. What's happening with this boot?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Stole some pizza.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh well, that shit don't make sense.
What doesn't?
Mario's feet are just looking cray cray.
Today is gonna be our day.
Give me a.
Death stalks the ignorant. Intelligence will guide us to survival.
You and me,
I guess I'll steal the feet off of that reference. It's kind of. I'll just reverse them. Ah, but the angle's different. Shit. Oh well.
This is your champion. Champion challenger means
It's
little
gonna
if you
look
die.
super goofy. I'm gonna try it.
Alright, so here's the story. I woke up, saw my shadow. It was gorgeous, thank you. And now you're in the long winter. Got it?
As Jumpmaster, I'll lead you to where we claim the most alive. This landing area will prove beneficial.
Okay. Try not to blink. You may miss it.
Prepare for sudden death.
No, god damn it, I want to go.
Now this is something to celebrate.
Not making sense. Give me a good reference of his feet. Like, they're super simple. It shouldn't be a problem.
Just shape them like a My Pillow.
I don't even know what a My Pillow looks like. And I think my pillow is different than your pillow.
I don't really
so
either.
like
Triple take here. RE-45 here. Alternator here.
Hell yeah. I'll ping that.
G7 scout here. Body shield here. Level 2.
oh, is that a select fire? Oh, I'll take that shit. Take this Prowler.
Damn, Zero already found gold armor.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with being a pimp.
Stock here. Level 1.
Here's a select fire. Here's a Phoenix kit.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 1. Let's check out this way.
Purple armor.
I could really
Nice.
use a. Oh, here, I don't need this. If somebody wants that. I don't know why I'm carrying that shit.
Thank you.
Really use the Havoc Devotion. I got some energy ammo and a turbocharger.
Yeah, I need some energy ammo as well. My charge rifle.
Oh, my bad. You were trying to grab that?
No, I don't need them. I picked them up. Mechanic.
Oh, are you sure? I thought I picked.
I picked up the two that were there.
You guys want to go toward the city?
Sure.
Well, you're heading that way, so sure.
City's got some good stuff. Got an active nightlife.
Oh, I see dudes on the other side
Are
of
they
that
wearing
wall.
shirts?
To-
Oh,
towards the
they're zipping
southwest.
to the train
Going up
station.
here?
Okay, yeah, train station's probably closer.
Sorry, I'm just gonna hit this bin real quick. I found the people. Devotion. Some.
Yo, I just saw someone right there.
Okay.
Alright. Oh yeah, and one over at this
Right there.
building. Oh yeah. Whoa, one
Okay,
of
here,
them
here.
zipped up
If
to
does
the roof
anybody
of
need
that?
this? I don't need it anymore. I found a purple one.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Oh shit, coming,
Got one
coming,
on me.
coming.
Shit, drop down. Oh, we're coming.
Yo, back off my boy, bitch!
One down.
Back off my boy!
Shit. One firing at you from the roof, bro.
Bro, I got one,
Okay,
one down here,
on the
last one
way.
down here.
Oh,
He's
you
right
done
outside.
fucked up, bruh.
You can pick me up, pick me up.
Care package coming in. No worries, brother. I got you.
That's how ZLG does, son.
Spitfire here. Light ammo here. Recharging shields.
Kids
Oh, I
right
downed
outside.
someone up the top. They
Yeah,
died.
yes, there were two down.
Don't.
They must have died when the third got killed. Yep, there's boxes.
Yeah, because I
There's
downed
kids
Ray.
outside the west wall.
Nice.
Heavy R9 wingman here.
Oh, 99, hell yeah. Thank you, bro. I hear someone else downstairs.
Oh, being charge rifled.
Shit. Yeah, charge rifle on that roof, you know.
I'm being shot from behind. Oh man, I'm coming in. There's somebody shooting from the west.
Give me my shields to recharge.
Let's get in zone quick.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, we gotta go.
shit.
Circle's coming. Let's go downstairs inside.
Oh, I'm just running along the train tracks.
Alright,
Okay, we're below you.
Squad fighting right there.
Okay. Can you throw that health drone?
Next.
Thank you.
they're getting somebody up.
Somebody on the other side of that rock.
Nice.
2 down,
Oh, I didn't even see that guy.
Here.
3 down.
How's
over
this
here
shit
somewhere.
hurting still? Oh, they're zipping in.
Because he threw it and then he died.
Nade.
That bitch is down.
Shit.
Behind us. Hit 27 blue.
Ping him if you see him.
He were
He
over
were
there.
over.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he not were there no more. Okay.
Boys on me.
Wait, where's you? Okay.
Nice.
Another one down.
What? Yeah,
Gotta be
I'm looking
careful,
for
Paul.
energy ammo. I'm like not doing so hot with it.
I got no energy.
Oh, grenades.
Nade. Over there.
Oh, that nade hurt. Last one down and a boom boom. Let me know if there's energy in there, Ozzy.
Yeah, there's heaps. 150. 150. Go. Can it hurry up? Go.
Oh, we gotta move. Circle's coming
Okay,
in,
let me.
boys. Up the hill. 10 seconds.
Okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm on
Mechanic,
my
run.
way. I'm on my way.
Run,
I'm
mechanic.
on my way.
Stop healing.
Fat boy's moving. Fat boy's got his moving shoes on. That's alright.
That boy's got his
Yeah,
hustling
man.
shoes on.
I got all this extra weight, so when I slide down hills, I go like supersonic.
I should really be streaming this, but I'm not.
You
for
should
some
be.
reason.
We are doing phenomenal. Phenomenon.
Yeah, viewers.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
hope
paying
you do.
attention to chat
It's been
because I'm
gold
a
all night.
fucking useless piece of shite balls.
Mechanic,
I
what are
was
you
looking
doing,
for my
bruh?
viewer button. I haven't been looking at chat all night because I'm a terrible streamer.
Wait.
So the one time I look at chat is when I should have been
I'm right
hopping
over
on
here.
that zip line and not running off a cliff.
Stop broadcast.
Alright, I'm back.
That circle's your circle's gonna hit you. Gonna hit you, Ozzy.
There you go.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
my
my
broadcast is gone.
audio is not included. Let's
My name's called CS to the Go because I was playing CS:GO last night. Because
let's figure that out. Okay, audio is now included.
let's get on top.
Let's do
Okay.
that. Do I hear people? Is there a healing drone going on? No.
Round 3. Beginning ring countdown.
Is anybody low on cells or syringes? I've got 6 of each.
I don't have any cells, but I got a bunch of batteries, and I got 4.
Well, oh okay. Well, here, take a couple of cells. I've got 2 Phoenix kits. So. Oh shit! Ozzy's firing at people.
Yep.
Okay.
Squad's here.
Oh yeah, they're healing up.
One in that corner. One in that corner.
Oh yeah, I see the second one. As soon as his little domey boy go, I see both of them. Come on, you fucking dome! Get out of my face!
We're gonna push.
We can if you wanna.
Wait, actually no. They have to move.
Yeah, we better stay here because we got a better position
Just
to
gonna
run.
nade over there.
Just for good measure.
Yeah. One has blue armor, one has purple armor.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna have to go to
Oh,
ring now.
one just jumped off. One just jumped off down low.
Yep, let's go to ring. Let's go to ring.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Let's explore this way.
They're probably all going to run that way.
Alright.
I hear more people.
Zero. Don't get killed out there, bro.
Oh, I fell off.
So just climb back up.
I think there's people up here.
Oh yeah, there
No.
are. I can see them.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they just sniped at me.
There's a whole squad. Boys,
Yeah.
pull back, pull
right
back.
here, right
Don't-
here,
don't
I'm
right
rush.
here.
Zero, get out of there. Get out of there,
I got
Zero.
hurt.
My special's coming in.
Get out, guys.
There
Pull
you
back,
go.
pull back.
Fall
Fall
back,
back
to
to
where?
the
Okay.
to the big house. To the big house. I got you covered, bro. Okay. Storm's moving in.
Back to the big house.
Well, you better
People have been here.
purchase that soap on a rope. Oh, they're in the building.
Listen up, I'm getting shot.
Okay.
He's almost dead.
Yeah, one's coming in
Oh,
down here, boys.
shit.
Hit her, broke her shield. She's in the blue
Okay.
boxes.
I see someone hopping around.
Giving my shields a reach out.
They're both in there.
Bam.
One's over here.
Yep.
Shit. How are there still 5 squads? Hey, let's keep moving toward the ring. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I'm afraid someone's gonna come up behind us.
Oh, there's dudes over here.
Yep, those are probably the dudes. Wait, let's just watch these dudes. A second. Is he planning?
Okay. Okay. Where's their zip line at? Oh, I see. Okay.
Pathfinder's is literally one hit by anything. Behind us?
Alright.
Broken gold armor on that dude down there.
Shit, I don't have nothing. Alright, I'm just gonna cover your back because I don't have anything for range. So you guys,
Alright, I was just really
Kraber,
harassing.
From where?
Kraber.
Okay, okay.
Who's got? Okay.
I'm down there.
Oh, they're flying to those people.
One just
Yeah,
got
the whole squad's flying in over there.
24. Just be careful about over
They
here where
flew.
the guys
They
were.
went to the balloon and flew.
Yeah, oh, okay.
That was them that just flew in.
We gotta
Yeah.
start pushing. Ring's closing. I'm going over here to the right, I guess. I don't really know what to do here because they've got the high ground down low.
I think there's someone in here.
Okay, okay.
I think. Is there?
I don't know.
see
There were
anybody.
earlier.
I hear.
Oh, they moved, yeah.
Maybe that was you guys. I thought I heard.
Contact with hostile.
Oh yeah, kids down
Oh,
here.
that ring hurts. Move, that ring hurts.
Got one down.
Go, 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 go.
Shit.
Ah.
Shit.
Nice, thank you.
Throw down
Right,
shield,
we
please,
come
down
right
shield.
back. Good shit. Still 3 other squads. What the fuck? Shit, shit.
I'm throwing my
One here.
special
Kids over to our
attacker.
west.
Raining down some destruction.
Good shit. Oh, I see.
42 damage on that guy over there.
Guys, watch out for my care package.
I broke
Watch
the
out for my
shield
care
of that
package.
sniper.
Grenade.
That's sort of like a
Oh.
barrier, so we can use that.
There's a guy over there.
Push up, push up, push up.
Shit. I got a heal.
Oh,
I got a
no,
heal.
don't. We're gonna have to push far left.
God, fucking get. I'm down. I'm down.
Okay, good.
I'm on this
Alright,
purple
you got him.
box.
Oh, the ring! Fuck!
Dude.
Ring,
Oh, what?
ring, bro.
Yeah, run, bitch.
Oh my god.
Both sides of us on both those fucking caves.
Shit, I'm down. Fuck.
Yeah, they used their
Yeah,
gas
that was
hole.
such.
Bro, that's the game.
That was so rough.
Yeah,
Caustic
we
gas
good
up there.
damage there, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't escape from that shit. One was in one cave on the hill, one
Yeah.
was on the other hill in front of the fucking mountain. They were both firing
Oh,
at us.
my game.
Oh
Crash it,
no.
I have to restart my Apex.
I gotta get up and move around. I guess swap dogs. Give me a couple minutes. I will be back.
Alright.
Bro, if you get the annoying dog
I
out
have to.
again,
I have to. As much as I don't want to, I have to.
Not the annoying.
Yeah,
dog.
man, I'm the one who wanted a dog. I gotta take care of him.
the annoying dog's annoying because it eats the
It
cabling.
eats everything.
It eats
Eats
his
my
shoes.
shoes. It eats everything it can fucking get its mouth on. Things that it tries to kill itself. It's insane. Also,
Voltage,
oh, I just got booted too.
Yeah,
actually, yeah, I'm gonna restart my Apex, and I will. I'll be
Okay.
back.
And I'm back. In the game. Wait, Season 4 comes out when?
I don't know.
When does Season 4 for Apex Legends come out?
The 4th of February
The 4th of February.
According to
Bro,
Finity, Apex
in
Legends
3
Season 4 will
days.
be released on Tuesday, the 4th of February 2020.
Want to
And
get
then I
that
can use
sexy
Resonant.
Australian chick Google voice.
What the fuck?
I've just got like a neutral accent
It's like, yeah.
Google voice.
Lifeline's actually such a good character.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
That skin's pretty good though. What charms do I have? Oh, I want to get Bubblehead Marvin. I'm going to oof myself. Get oofed, you oofing oofer. I literally have a legendary for every weapon except for the charge, like a legendary skin for every weapon except for the charge rifle.
Cool.
Isn't that sad? Like, it's just the only one without it. I don't have a charm on it either. And I don't have a spare charm. God damn it. Oh, this sucks. On the 4th of Feb. On the 4th of Feb, bruh.
Oh, the next season?
Yeah, the 4th. So in 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
That's stupid. Oof. Why is it coming out on the 4th? Bruh. Why? Where did Mechanic go? He died. God damn it.
I think he said something about breeding dogs or something. I don't know.
No, he's swapping his dogs out.
Oh, that was it.
$7:30 a.m. I'm tired. Really freaking tired.
Yeah, it's a long time to be up.
Yeah, I've been up since, well, I didn't even go to sleep last night either. That's fine. It's like a Mechanic on his streams when he falls asleep during them.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever caught him falling asleep.
I caught him, I was in his
Zeticus.
chat, and he was just, literally, he was playing a game and then just stopped moving, and then started snoring, and I'm just like, bruh. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-bum. I forgot I had blue fade for you. Error. Server shutting down. I love it when my server shuts down.
Yeah, mine's been doing that shit. I guess everybody's has.
No, but why though?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just has something to do with the neural net. Just go back to the original Pathfinder. I forgot I got Wraith's finisher.
What does she do in it?
It's the Into the Light one where she punches them 3 times, opens a portal behind her, throws them in the portal, and then closes the portal.
I don't know if I've seen that one or not.
It's pretty bad.
For some reason, I rarely get finished by a Wraith. I mean, I have before, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think I've ever seen that particular finisher. Oh, it's a long-ass dog swap.
Yep. Normally takes 10 to 15 minutes.
It's a marathon dog swapping session.
He has to go and walk him 5 miles. Oh, I'm tired as a fuck. Bruh, where'd he go? He's literally just died at this moment.
You want to take a nap? Ozzy, I'll scream in the headset when he comes
Nah,
back.
it's all good, mate. I'll just stay awake. Just takes headset off. Haha, try now. Bum 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 bum. Quick, join, and then we can just like do whatever. And you know what? Let's just muck around in firing range.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I've got my hands full right now.
Disappointing. How could you?
I've never even tried the firing range since they.
Really? It's just where you can
yeah.
you can make it so you can fight against each other.
Oh, okay. Well, hold up a second. Let me put this stuff down here. I mean, well, never mind. Yeah. Oh, I have played this. Yeah, maybe I played it with.
Yeah, and then you can change your characters.
What's his name?
Mechanic.
With you and Grim.
Alright, my bad, I'm back.
Maybe it was you and Mechanic.
Bruh, okay. Let's
No,
leave
good,
the
you
game
guys
then.
do you.
Alright. No, we were just playing firing
we're
range.
in firing range.
Just invite
We're
us,
just mucking
Joe, if
around.
you don't mind.
Alright. Yeah, so I got some good news and I got some bad news. Good news is Kim is sleeping with Opie, so I don't have to get him out.
Oh, thank God.
So Chibs is still here. Bad news is I didn't realize it's 2 o'clock, and I switched. I was working tomorrow night, but I switched because they need me in the morning to like work in the back room. So I'm working tomorrow morning at 8, and I forgot about that.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah.
Also, good news is I made myself a turkey sandwich, so I got that going for me.
Oh, okay. But the bad news is the mayo expired.
But the bad news is I've put on what I thought was pesto.
The turkey was
Turns
rotten.
out it was mayonnaise.
Turns out the turkey is spoiled as well.
Turns out the turkey was just chunks of cat meat.
Turns out the turkey was half of my dog.
Turns out Kim's not sleeping with Opie. She sliced him up into tiny little delicious slices.
Okay, let's go a proper defensive game.
What? No, you do you. You do you.
Yes. Well, we're defensive gang now.
Oh, that's super
Yeah, I mean,
defensive.
that's probably too defensive.
That's like insecure defensive.
It's like a little penis defensive.
Bruh. Let's get 30 kills this game, huh? 30k bomb.
Yeah, that sounds.
To play this this comp properly, we have to like pick a building and not move.
Right.
You ready? I'm gonna go to this right one, mechanic. Do you want me to land you in it?
I'm gonna break off.
No.
Thank you, though.
Oh, I see 4 kids going to a single box.
Bruh, bitch. Hey, mechanic.
I
sort of fell off.
Okay,
the
I need a
zip line.
gun.
Oh, mechanic. Guns in there. Guns in there. Grab them.
Okay. Oh shit! I didn't realize you were right here. I would have left one of the guns on the ground. Here, you got a gun? Here.
No, I don't. Thank you, bro.
There's a bunch of people in the box.
Ozzy.
Thanks,
Oh,
bro.
Zero. There's another blue one over here, in up there.
Oh, tits.
People underneath you guys.
Okay.
You got a gun?
People with us.
Somebody up there?
Broke his armor.
One in here.
Hurt a lot of bit.
Yeah. That's 2 down. Oh, yeah.
Mates.
Yeah, I thought somebody was attacking us. So,
Here, I'm dropping light
good
ammo.
shit.
Oh, thank you.
There's a box over here.
Make it.
I need some shields when we find some.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any either.
I can drop you a shield battery.
Okay.
Mechanic. Or whoever.
Oh, somebody's coming. Somebody's right above us. Yep.
There you go, bro.
Thank you.
Broke her shield? Yeah.
You ready? Zero?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And that's how you levitate, bitch.
It kind of skipped over a few frames of animation there, but...
Yep.
2 on me.
1 down. 2 down.
Oh, boy.
Oh, good shit.
Somebody else.
Damn. Nobody got no
enemies, yeah?
shields for us.
More enemies?
Yeah, I don't know where though. I'm picking up a white shield a second because I can't find any fucking shield cells.
The ring's close. 45
Oh shit. Some enemies on the ships, on the cars.
Right there. He just fell off.
Good shit.
And
All he had was a wide knockdown shield.
I here, Zero.
Where's the
I picked up 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, bruh.
10 seconds.
Take my blue armor back over here.
Yeah. Yeah, right there.
Reclaim that.
Body shield here. Level 2.
We're right next to the ring.
Alright, I'm gonna check the respawn area for.
There's a drone here.
I'm gonna check the.
It's got
big
a it's
building.
got a vault key.
All right. Well, we probably got time for the vault.
Oh, I hear footsteps on me. And there's a crypto
Oh
drone.
shit! I'm coming. I'm way over here.
Shit, I missed all those fucking shots. Yep, they're pushing me.
Oh my god.
Bro, right here, he's so low.
I don't. I'm caught.
I don't get this. How can they shoot straight through your shields?
That's what. Good shooting though.
Damn. Thank you though. Thanks, sir.
Bruh.
Armored Aussie did that evil damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's Watson for you.
Well, I got one more,
Tim-
Joe. What are you feeling?
Yeah, one more sounds good.
Don't feel pressured. I know
Nah.
8 o'clock comes
Yeah.
early.
Yep. And I didn't shower tonight, so I really should shower before I go to bed. So it's gonna put me even later, or shower when I get up.
Jeez, Joe, it's already 2
Yeah.
a.m.
I've never been able to shower. I mean, I can shower at night, but I have to shower in the morning too. It's like I feel like
Yeah.
crusty as fuck
Sometimes
if
I
have a
wake up and
morning
I feel
shower.
like sweaty and gross, but sometimes I feel
I
alright.
feel crusty.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that's me. That's me.
Time to go watch Sony.
All right. Double defense.
It's triple defense.
I mean, 2 games in a row, but
But
Yeah.
yes.
Oof,
Double,
my kills are
triple
going up.
defense.
I'm gonna go left.
No, get off your retro rockets, you stupid fucking chemical slinging bitch. Oh my god.
Oh, that was hard.
Damn you, caustic. It's
Stop climbing the wall, you fatso.
and I have no guns. And I have a long
I picked up everything but the gun. Oh my god, I just downed myself. Are you kidding me?
Fuck you.
This caustic that downed me is almost dead. He's been hit 3
We're all
times
dead.
with a longbow. Oh well, yeah.
No,
Well, that one didn't count.
definitely did not count.
One more, me. Oh, internal server shutting down.
Damn you,
Why does that always come up? Why is it always me that gets like internal server? It's like, you know what?
It happens.
You
Can't
make it
have-
cry
as
on the
well.
inside.
What? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm so good. Like,
That's
oh, it's
probably
too good for me, and then just like kills himself.
It's like I can't take any more of this East German Australian accent.
Know what?
What?
I'm gonna have to go
Uh-oh.
big boy.
Uh-oh.
Well, what do you want to play?
I'm gonna have to go big boy.
What big boy
Who
you
wants
want
to play Gibraltar?
Big boy, big boy.
You better hope you pick first.
No, big boy, big boy.
Yeah,
I
no, me
don't
neither.
understand.
Like Winston from Overwatch? You want to play a whole different game?
You mean you want to go to the almost extinct American burger chain, big boy, or?
No, big boy. Mechanic, what are you doing? You're meant to be Gibraltar.
Not today.
Bro, aren't we doing
Not
big boy
today.
squad? I was gonna go Birdman.
I'm switching it up for this last game. I'm gonna.
Oh shit! Oh, that's a cool Gibraltar skin. Where'd you get that shit? Was that for the Halloween thing?
The Halloween, yes.
It's pretty cool.
Bro, really? I thought smiling meant you were sad.
I mean, he's a robot. He don't know emotions.
Can I ask why
Right.
it's always me being jump master?
Because it likes your decision making.
I don't know. You can always give it up.
Hope you're ready. Let's do this, brothers.
We got a squad right on our
Going
heels.
directly in the hole. Oh, there's no hole there.
Oh, he got a gun and I don't.
That's what she said.
I do now, but I'm.
Bro, fuck
Oh my
life.
god, I got no guns either. Oh my gosh.
Oh, did you just get?
Bro, yeah, of course
Fucked.
there's some fucking...
Oh, did you just get? Oh man, that's prison rules for you, bitch.
Oh, up on the stairs, bro. Pop, pop, pop.
Grab. Oh wait, how do I switch
mop.
players? Next teammate X,
Let me
not A.
heal.
Okay, one button.
Where you at? Where you at? Okay.
There.
Oh, here's
yeah.
somebody
Oh,
else.
come
I
on.
think. Yep, somebody else.
Okay, mechanic.
He's hurt bad. He's coming down the stairs.
Okay. Nice.
Wasted in your
That's
face.
the closest one there.
On the way.
I hate that though. So I get in the door and then Gibraltar punches me and I fly backwards. It's just
Shit.
like,
Alright, I'm
Somebody
getting.
else?
Oh
Oh,
shit,
in
I'm
here.
coming.
Two of them. Motherfucker.
Oh, I gotta reload. Nice.
don't steal all the kills.
Sorry, bro. They started it.
Some dumbass put a 4-8X on that scout, and I picked it up
That
and
was you.
almost lost us the game.
Bro,
no, it
that
wasn't
was
me.
you.
I picked it up. What do you mean? It was
You
me? I
can't
picked
pick it
out
up
of a
with
box.
attachments on it.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
I
If you pick it
think.
up, it puts attachments on it. That's in your infantry. But you can't pick it up with attachments on it unless it's a gold gun.
Oh, maybe you're right. Okay. I accidentally snatched up that scope.
That's why I don't even like to keep them bitches in
So
the
I'm the dumbass.
in the shit.
Yeah, I didn't even know that shit. That's or maybe I intuitively knew it, but doesn't matter.
Now I am super
Got
low
rid of that
on
shit.
ammunition. So it's not even funny.
I put some heavy in that,
Heavy in.
heavy and energy in this box, but I don't know if there's any
Yeah, I
left in
might
it.
have picked
No,
that
there's not.
heavy up, and then I used it all shooting them motherfuckers. Or shooting at those motherfuckers.
I got nothing but
Alright,
light.
I have some light. I can get through it. Probably the next fight. Okay, I just found some. Some okay. Oh, there's light in here, so I can get by.
I've got barely any energy. I'm gonna go
Here's some
check up
heavy.
here.
Do you have a heavy gun?
No.
I'll take that. I have. Oh shit! I picked up the box that looked like a box of energy. Turns out it was
Oh damn!
two,
People are beating
two
you.
energies.
10 seconds. Rings just ahead.
People have already searched this whole place.
Mother.
You don't have a heavy
Yeah, I got a
gun, do you,
prowler.
Joe? Well, here's some
yeah.
heavy.
My man, pots and pans. He's the man with pots and pans.
Let's go check this
it
out.
Alright.
Oh, it's not
With
searched.
his pots and pans hands. Okay, I'm gonna go up here. Oh, I see a drone. Oh, and it's got a vault key. Turn gold, turn gold, turn gold, turn gold, turn gold, turn gold, turn gold.
There's a select fire for your prowler
I'm missing the shit out of this.
and heavy ammo.
Okay. Give me the. Where's the vault key? Where's the vault? What? What? So it can get rid of its vault key?
No, you just have to look hard. It's probably blended into the ground like it always does.
Level 1. Shotgun
I did.
here.
That's what I was trying to.
Where was that? I don't see it. Where was that? Select fire.
In one of those bins on the hill to the northeast.
Okay.
Northeast of the epicenter, the north epicenter building.
Alright, yeah, I don't fucking see this thing.
Where?
Your other northeast. I'm gonna come see if I can show you what I'm talking about.
I'm still up at the top of the hill.
Yeah, it's over. It's over here.
Well, actually, no.
I
I'll
got
take
3
them for
bins up here.
now.
Let me.
If anyone finds a sniper scope, that would be good.
Gotta hop up here. Barrel energy ammo here.
Energy ammo here. Gotta hop up here. Joke.
Wait, what guns do I have? I am okay with the guns I have.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
When you start moving in.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're all in the circle now.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you? Ah, I found it. Thank you.
Energy ammo here.
You know what? I should swap. Now I got select fire, so I should swap the 99 out for something with range.
Okay. Oh, you have a
Yeah,
99?
so if we see like a 301. I'd like to
Nice.
swap it out.
Yeah.
Or I guess even a scout, maybe.
Yo, look at this little tiny shit I'm standing on.
It better be the
Right.
smallest fecal matter I've ever seen. I'm on my way.
It is, but it's frozen.
Keep on moving
No matter.
forwards. Keep on moving forward. See if you can go. Can you go a bit more?
Oh, no, why don't you drop first?
Okay. No!
Oh no.
Oh my god, I...
Go for it. Oh, you knocked yourself off?
I
myself off
slid
this
to
shoulder.
like uppercut him and like I stopped like a foot short and just like uppercutted nothing. And he's looked at me like, congratulations, you played yourself. Oh, 301.
R99
Thank you.
Crazy rate of fire. Needs anything you running. Havoc
I
rifle
wouldn't
here.
say it has.
Oh, holy shit.
Well, I'd say it has.
Whoa, what the mother...
Oh, I'm coming.
What the motherfuck, Gus? Up. And I saw them up there.
More out here. Oh yeah, up there.
They're trying to hit us with the mean flank.
New kill leader. Watch your six.
Just on.
Shit.
Knocked one.
Me too. There's a robot right on the other side of this wall. Get him up. Not today, Satan.
Shit. Two of them right here. Yeah, one more.
Using a med kit.
Oh, they're getting shot at from that building.
I need that kill. Sorry, bro.
Another one down.
I killed the lifeline.
Somebody's coming. Somebody's. Oh, an Aussie.
The Mirage just went invisible.
We're fucking surrounded.
Yeah.
Yo, how did he just use his ultimate again?
Heads up. Dropping the pain.
Oh no, you're kicking some ass though.
I died. This guy just found that corner. He's all like decked out now.
Yeah, Joe, run and heal, run and heal.
Motherfucker.
Oh, you were doing great though. I mean, shit, we're surrounded by kids, as per usual.
Yep. It's always with the kids.
Like we're a goddamn daycare center or something.
Good game though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game, man. Though.
That was a good game. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah, you
Same
guys
here,
too. I gotta get off here too.
Same here.
Pretty done for tonight. All right. Probably see
Yeah.
you guys
I'm gonna go to
tomorrow.
sleep.
Adios, fellas. Thank you very
All right.
much, you guys.
See you guys.
See you
Do
guys.
you?
Good night.
Yeah, happy birthday.
again, Ozzy. See
Belated
you.
birthday.
Oh, thanks, mate. See you. See you, mates.
Alright, so adios, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in and for being here, for doing you, for being special, for spending some time with me, thinking that what I'm doing is cool enough to do that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. To the moon and back, Alice. Appreciate it to the moon and back. But no, for real. It's Friday. Could be anywhere. Could be whatever. You know, things happen on Fridays, and you spend a little bit of time with me, whether it was a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever it was. Appreciate you stopping in. I mean, it's the same people all the time, and you know who you are, and I appreciate that. A shout out and big thanks to Ozzy for the games. Shout out and big thanks to Zero for the games. Grim, you missed out. We were kicking some teeth in today. No like crazy kill games, but a lot of multi-kill games. Some decent scores going up. Oh, all in all, it was a good night. And some possible good news from work that I didn't even talk about, but we'll figure that out for another night once it's confirmed. But yeah, no, thank you, Ozzy. I appreciate it. But yeah, so appreciate you guys stopping by, and also appreciate all the engagement I get on the social media. It's Mechanic on all socials except Twitter. It's Mechanic G on. I'm active mostly on Instagram, especially. Follow Zero Logic Gaming, Logic with a K, on Instagram and Facebook. Also follow the Armored Ozzy, Armored_Ozzy on Instagram. And give a follow to the Zeddy on the Instagrams as well. Greatly appreciate it. But that is it for me, and I'm out. Seriously, thank y'all for coming. Thank you for the games, Ozzy. And to those that didn't come out,